Yeah,
we're gonna start.
The good con is apparently in the
right,
in the evil empire.
Right. We're gonna start with AEW.
Okay, well, folks, let's just say this: AEW had 3 shows this week. One of which is continuing to hit record lows on Friday nights.
Rampage just does not do good.
Well, Jesse, you and I both know that ever since Punk stopped appearing on the show and he went to Dynamite, it's a throwaway.
Well, here's
they
the
don't
thing.
care about Rampage anymore.
You're asking people to tune in to 3 hours of wrestling on a Friday night.
Yeah.
SmackDown is in a great place because it's on a nationally syndicated channel for 2 hours. And by the way, they're usually over right before 9 p.m. our time, 10 p.m. East Coast.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And so Rampage coming on after that on friggin' it might actually still be TNT.
It is on TNT, yeah. Okay. People have to realize something. TNT, Turner, even before this merger, turned around and they got this thing called the NHL.
Yes,
now, for those of you who don't like hockey, I don't care. Fuck you. Also, welcome to 13 Cards Subject Change, the show that is apparently racing Jade Cargill to see who will swear first during a promo. And she beats us every time because every other word is "I'm that bitch."
Right.
Shit is apparently her favorite word now.
It really is.
You want to talk about a fall from grace from the year before?
Right.
We'll get to her. We'll get to her. But anyway, no, they had to give AEW a bone. That's why they have 4 Battle of the Belts a year.
True.
And that's why they left Rampage on a time slot that nobody cares about on a Friday night. Is because we booted you from TNT to TBS, which, by the way, I don't know why people see that as a negative. I know we talk about it being the Comedy Network, so it's a joke, but like it's in more households. How is that a negative again?
I don't know.
But anyway, but no, it's just so they're making it up to them by allowing them to still keep basically a total of a few hours on TNT.
Right.
But folks, the NHL is a bigger brand than AEW. I don't care what anybody wants to say. And actually, Jesse, I actually looked up those numbers. Hockey's been doing really well for TNT since it came back.
Well, the
hockey numbers were good.
Right. Here's the thing overall, right?
Yeah.
So what people don't want to talk about when it comes to why the show numbers don't do so well and this and that and all that good stuff. Well, it's very simple. It's 10 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah.
Listen, I've always said, unless you're a hardcore nerd, which, by the way, if you listen to our show, you must be.
Yeah.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah.
Unless you're a hardcore nerd for wrestling.
Yeah.
You ain't watching pro wrestling at 10 p.m. on a Friday.
And have you also noticed, Jesse, because you brought this up recently, because I was there live when they first started doing it.
Right.
Because what people don't realize is right next to the hard camera at a lot of WWE shows, there's a clock with the local time, so the wrestlers are able to kind of take a look over. The referee can kind of get times. So I mean, people know what time it is.
Right.
So you pointed out recently, SmackDown's going off the air at 8:57.
By 8:58, they're done.
Exactly. So they're giving you time to switch to TNT.
Right.
But you're still not watching.
Right.
What's funny to me is, and by the way, Jim Cornette continues to confirm, they can't keep their time good, so they're always over on DVR time.
Which is weird.
Because again, the DVR, by the way, here's the funny part. When DVR first started, if you checked your TV guide locally on Raw back in the early 2000s and even the mid-10s, even though you weren't watching, the fucking guide said 10:05.
Right.
Now, they would sometimes run to 10:07, 10:08.
Right.
But I
think sporting events, which WWE and wrestling basically is they give you the 10 minutes.
Yeah, but here's the deal, folks. They at least told the company that they were working for on TV.
Right.
We're going to probably go over. So make sure that people know that, so when their DVR set to the... Now, again, you can set the DVR 10 minutes, 5 minutes, yada, yada.
Right.
They told everyone that. So it's just okay, anyway. They're giving you time.
They're basically saying, here, take the fans that just watch SmackDown.
They're hyped. They loved wrestling.
Right.
By the way, this week's SmackDown down a little bit, but 1.9 is still not bad. I mean, that's about what.
It'll continue to go up.
Oh yeah, especially now that the ending was what it was, because people were
Right.
like, "Oh crap, I should have stuck around for that."
Right.
Also, again, more wrestling.
Yeah, what did they say? About an hour of wrestling on this show?
Well, okay, so Triple H's first SmackDown was about 49 minutes.
Right.
And there was easily more than 11 minutes past last week
Right.
that there was this week. So it
Well,
had
and
to
then,
have been,
Roman Reigns' interest takes about 10, so you can
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
go to commercial break at the beginning,
and
come
watching,
back,
and watching
and he
Sammy,
still hadn't gotten in
yeah,
the ring.
And watching Sammy slowly have a personal midlife crisis takes at least 10 minutes. 3 times he knocked on that door.
I know.
And Jimmy just couldn't. No, sorry, Jay
Jay.
just couldn't take it anymore.
He's gonna
By
die.
the way, by the way, I made a
Sammy.
joke. I made a joke as soon as SmackDown started because Roman's in a different car,
Right.
and the Usos drove up in their own car.
Right.
Let me rephrase that. Jay drove up, and Jimmy came out of the passenger
Right,
seat
right.
because Jimmy's not allowed to have a license.
That's
in,
right, that's
in
right.
basically 49
That's
states.
right.
Sorry, folks, but even Florida has to say after this many issues, we got to take your license.
You can't drive here neither, bro.
No. Anyway, but now before we even get to the Dynamite results, Jesse, we wanted to start with this, and it's the topic wasted momentum. Let's go back almost a year now to a pay-per-view
Okay.
that a decent main event. I watched it the day after because it was still free on YouTube. There were a couple of debuts.
By the way, to be fair to them, and not fair to their fans, they've actually started taking stuff down.
Yeah, it's funny.
They've done that a lot in the past 6 months.
Oh, and by the way, what's also funny, before we even get to the G1 later, Jesse, your boy, from the UK, who just happens to be probably one of the most successful gaijins in the history of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Imagine how much realm that takes in back when gaijins were big. He was using a certain finisher on people.
Yes.
A certain celestial finisher, I should say. I don't, folks. I don't want to get a CAD. So, but anyway, Jesse, Kenny's been sending cease and desists to your boy Ospreay. Your thoughts on that? Because hold on. I thought the Elite were the kings of telling the world we've got cease and desist letters on our desk.
So 2 things. Number 1, it's weird. You get some TV, you get some TV contracts, and you start making big money, and
Guaranteed big money.
all of a sudden you're not the underdog anymore.
No.
All of a sudden you're sending out cease and desist. Wait a minute. A couple years ago, you were the rebels.
Yeah.
The cool ones. No cease and desist here, brother. We do what we want.
Yeah.
Huh.
And yet
Only took 4 years.
Yeah, and then Mr. Omega decides I'm now a big enough star where I can do. Everyone becomes corporate at some point. Get
Right.
over it, okay?
Right.
Even Howard Stern had to be stopped being the rebel of radio, and he had to give in to sponsorships and all.
Basically, what he could no longer do was 1, no titties on the radio.
Yeah.
Number 2, no naked women on the radio.
Yeah.
And number 3, no live sex
Yeah.
on the radio.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he still swears.
Well, I'm not saying that he's now, but just remember, everyone still has to keep the essence of what made them great, and we all
Right.
know Howard Stern is the greatest voice in the
and
history of radio.
serious.
Also, by the way, speaking of
Sirius
voices,
radio is pretty open-minded.
yeah,
about a lot
and by
of
the
things.
way, it is definitely worth mentioning because we always mention people like this, folks. Very much heartfelt goodbye to Vin Scully, the voice of the Dodgers, the voice of baseball.
lived a full life though. What was he? 90 years?
94.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't live a full life, but let me tell you something, folks. When you know what? Again, I always refer back to a guy like Colin Cowherd,
Right.
who I always say his opinions can get a little bit far-fetched, but he always tries to at least.
That's why I don't listen to him.
Well,
you can.
no, and that's fair. But like when he talked about Vin Scully,
Right.
boy, was that an emotional roller coaster. He brought some elegance to a game that already I think had it, but
Right.
it was even more. It's funny. Even in the modern day when I can watch the game, I actually used to catch Dodger games on the radio.
Yeah.
And, because I grew up at a time where you could find radio from all over the country whenever you really wanted to. And let me
Right.
tell you something, Vince Scully, there was a regalness to the way that man called the game.
I mean, there's a classy regalness to it. Just a love of baseball, the sport, what it meant to the fans, and
he also
the
proved,
American
Yeah.
lexicon.
and he also proved that you can be intellectual when you talk about sports. So
Right.
we give a heartfelt goodbye to the man who was the voice of basically baseball.
Yeah.
is what I should say.
If we had Tim Bells, I'd actually ring it for him because
Yep,
he really was great.
Vince Scully brought a lot there. But anyway, so wasted momentum. Back to my point, Jesse. We had a little pay-per-view.
Yes.
And the pay-per-view ends, and Kenny's oddly enough, Kenny's in the ring. He wasn't cease and desisting people yet. Kenny, we will never let you live this down because, like Jesse said, you were the guy who bragged about it,
Right.
and now you're doing it.
Now you're doing it.
Yeah. But anyway, so he's in the ring, and he makes a little statement that says, "And the only people." Sorry, I have to work in the breathy promo. Maybe, you know what? You know what, Jesse? To be fair, you do the show for the next 10 minutes. I'm going to run around the block a couple times, come back. Maybe I'll get Kenny's cadence down.
And,
Anyway, so Kenny would say, "They're already dead," which was a cue for "It's all about that boom."
Right.
Out comes Mr. Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm.
After he'd already been resurrected on BTE and asked for Super Dragon. Super Dragon, we miss you. Please come back to wrestling for something because Super Dragon was great.
Re-kill Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Send him back
Bucks
to
did that.
NXT.
Well, yeah, please. But anyway, no. So Adam Cole comes out. Then there was the whole, I still hate you guys for what you did. Yada.
Right.
By the way, took them a year to do that fucking storyline.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
But anyway, so then they hug.
Mm-hmm.
Because BTE, especially the Bucks, they've been stealing Bailey's gimmick forever. It's
Well,
been
this is
hilarious.
all
Yeah.
friends wrestling.
Yeah,
guys.
no, exactly. But anyway, then where I said Adam should have just gone up and been a little pissed about it, but because they're all friends, they debut Bryan Danielson.
A much, much bigger star than Adam Cole.
Was not even close on that night. It wasn't even
On any night.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even funny. But
One's a bona fide Hall of
then
Famer.
not even, I would say, I think it was not even a month.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, yeah, no, it was around Halloween, somewhere in that area. Then they debut Keith Lee. He comes back, was in a, basically killed Orange Cassidy by using him as a long dart.
Right.
And then Swerve Strickland shows up.
Mm-hmm.
We all love Strickland.
We love Swerve.
He's great. He was good. Then of course they've debuted countless other people.
Malachi Black.
Hell, 2 Dimes got debuted on Dark literally a couple weeks after they cut it. Now again, it's never been revealed what the issue was, but it was a wellness policy issue that the guy obviously made a mistake himself, and nobody wants to talk about that.
Right.
And now he's talking in a southern accent, but he was Italian, so I don't know what the heck that's all about.
So he officially joined the what the hell is the name of that faction that was the opposite of Cody's thing?
Oh, the factory.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So he officially joined the factory.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, here's the deal. For about 3 months, there was actual, legitimate groundswell to WWE not being able to keep their momentum going as the biggest wrestling company in the world.
Correct.
You also got CM Punk. We all know we were not favorable Phil Brooks people after last week.
I am never favorable.
Well,
to Phil
no,
Brooks.
that's true. But like, boy, we got a lot of people were like, man, you guys went off. I'm like, yeah. But here's the deal: nothing we said was false. Anyway,
Right.
So anyway, you have all these big names. Rampage does over 1 million. It was arguably one of the most perfect wrestling segments in the last 10 years. Hey, Phil, I'll give you that much because, again, you were in Chicago. It became a meme. The crying, the crying guy in the crowd was so happy that Punk was back. Now it's now it's down to a crying child. We'll get to that in a little bit. Boy.
Also, welcome into the chat. Everyone in the chat, thank you guys for joining.
Yeah, super appreciate that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off. Go ahead.
it's all good. Continue. But anyway, Jesse, so you have these big stars.
Right.
You have the New Japan deal coming up. Forbidden Doors gets announced 8 months before they actually have it, which is a little odd, but hey, you know. And then here we are.
Yeah.
We're not even a full 12 months later, and Jesse, they're nowhere.
Yeah.
Now, guys have gotten hurt,
Sure.
but let's look at how they've been hurt.
Sure.
Your top guy, CM Punk, finally wins the world title that, quote-unquote, they kept from him in WWE, even though he was one of the longest-reigning champions of the last 10 years.
Had the title for
almost 2 years.
Basically, I think 200 days less than Roman has had it now.
Yeah. And
200 days.
Yeah, and by the way, Paul Heyman would not shut up about it, so, like, they were giving you time.
Right.
And he hurts himself by jumping off of the stage into the crowd and smashing his foot on a barricade.
That's what I heard. That was the reason his foot was broken.
Go back and watch the footage because let me tell you something. I'm pretty sure that's where it happened because here's the deal. When he went down to the whole, check the ground clobbering time thing while FTR walked back, watch him checking his feet. He was pressing on that boot like something wasn't right.
Wow.
So I'm pretty sure that's where it happened. But anyway, and then Brian gets a concussion, in a match that was trash to begin with.
That shit was garbage.
And here's the deal: I understand people like chaos. You and I do as well.
Right.
But why is arguably the biggest star in the world in the trash? Of all. Eddie Kingston wants it because Eddie Kingston thinks that's good. Okay, if Eddie wants to, and Jericho thinks everything smells like roses.
Everything. About to say, Chris Jericho thinks anything he thinks of nowadays is gold.
Oh my God! But no, it's just Jesse. Why was your top guy in that trash? Is all I have to ask. Because here's the deal. I don't think you can legally pour gasoline on somebody. So you want to talk about wrestling being hokey. At least when Randy Orton burned The Fiend, we all could tell that it was a dummy.
It was shot terribly because it's Kevin Dunn.
Yes.
But you could tell, and you knew it was going to be fake.
Yeah.
But
But just so Jesse, now we move on to back to my point of Jesse, yes, people were hurt. It's their own fault they got hurt.
Right.
But Jesse, their average rating is not any higher. And by the way, people, for someone that told me, well, it's at least an average of 20,000 people higher. Wow, you guys will take victories wherever you can. Anyway, Jesse,
it's not how you turn a franchise around. Is all I'm saying.
Jesse, how? No. So you turn a franchise around by getting a quarterback who apparently slept with his mom's best friend because. Thumbs up to you, sir.
Hey, we're going to a Super Bowl. He kissed my ass.
You are wearing a Jets shirt today.
That's right.
Mostly anti-Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, they're actually their defense is really good.
And Tua's got Tyreek.
And Tua's got an offense around him, so if he
and
fails,
I want people to be very
he's on
clear.
his own.
Tua doesn't need to throw the ball 60 yards because Tyreek's proven one thing.
All they got to do is throw like the cross routes or the fivers.
Am I the only one?
These guys can go.
See, this is the part that makes no sense. All we've talked about in sports right now is that Tua can't throw the deep ball. I'm sorry, Patrick wasn't throwing that deep Tyreek that often. He mostly gave him a 5-yard hitch, and then Tyreek did the rest.
It was a lot of crossing routes.
Yeah, that's all it was. But anyway, so, no, Jesse, so your take on the fact that to quote Corny, who admittedly you've been listening to a little more,
I don't know how I ended up doing that. I blame you.
He
and
does have
Leroy.
a lot of wrestling history to him.
Yes,
When he goes off on those tangents, I enjoy myself way more than anything else he says.
Right.
But here's the deal. Jesse, they're virtually, quote Jim, Vince was handing the war to Tony Khan.
He basically handed him victories.
He was giving you everything that you needed.
Right.
All of the stars that the fans wanted.
Right.
Everything everything that. And Jesse, I'm not kidding when I say this. He has yet to beat Vince in anything.
True.
And now he's having to start off with Triple H getting a hell of a momentum, which we'll talk about in a second. But, Jesse, what happened? You were handed the keys to enter your opponent's side of the thing. If there was ever a time to push Bryan Danielson and CM Punk as your top two guys, that was the time.
Right.
Well, Punk got what he wanted because Punk's a selfish prick, we found out. Bryan decided to work with some people, which we don't understand because Bryan's just the nicest guy in the world.
Most of you guys found out. people like me already knew. Here's the thing.
The Bucks and CM Punk, two indie darlings that you've never liked.
CM Punk, I only started to see the pure BS. I think it was the second segment with him and Triple H, because
Was that the official segment where Triple H said his stuff that makes more sense now?
It was the one where they actually had. It was to me the second one is the one without Kevin Nash. In the ring with them.
Okay.
And
was that the one with Johnny Ace, or was that the one with?
No, they were alone.
Okay, gotcha.
And that was the build up to SummerSlam.
Gotcha.
Because here was the thing about all that. It was after they cost him the title and all that, blah blah blah. Because here was the thing. I started listening to Triple H
when Kevin Nash slowly, briskly walked into the ring.
Well, because I was on Punk's side. I'm like, what is this old ass dude doing out here? He needs like 3 more knee surgeries just to walk.
Yeah.
Here was the thing. I started listening to Triple H's side of the promo, especially since Punk decided to break the fourth wall and call them both by their legal names. And
yeah,
I'm listening to Paul, and I'm like, yeah, he's kind of right. Now, some people think at the time, man, this is an old school way of thinking. I would think Triple H is better. He's running NXT so well. I'm like, but yeah, he's evolving from the old ways, but still continuing things that work.
Yeah.
But it's still one of those things where I was listening and I'm like, he is right. And I'm like, by the way, I used to think Triple H was the most selfish son of a bitch. I'm the dude who, after they shot the thing, I'm the teenage kid, along with like 2 other people, who got thrown out of WWE New York, WWF New York, because I was trying to throw something at his skull.
Yeah.
So, like,
you could have been famous in wrestling lore as the
guy
that busted open Triple H.
I could have been.
Yeah.
It would have been funny, like, years later when, like, I'm taking a photo with him. I'm my bad, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was cool about it though, because he mentioned
right. And I mean, he was cool about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's one of those
mostly
things
because nothing happened.
Right.
Yeah.
They stopped me.
Yes.
I was a teenage kid. They stopped me very quickly.
Yep.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm listening to him like, he's actually right. I'm like, wait a minute, why would I boo Triple H about this? Because he's actually right.
Yeah.
And then CM Punk.
Well, there were a lot of cheers when he said the quote, "These people come here to have a good time, and these people like the WWE."
Because what he said
there
was
some cheers,
right? Because he was like, well, listen, there's a lot that can change, and then there were some cheers.
Yeah.
But then he also was like, but there's people here who actually like the WWE.
Yeah.
And then there were cheers. There was people already.
He was
who
basically
actually
speaking
like
to the part of the audience that wasn't the Phil Brooks side of the audience.
It wasn't some of the guys who had leapt away from WWE.
Yeah.
Like myself. Even though at that point I wasn't even really back for CM Punk.
Right, yeah.
At that point they had brought up the Shield, Bray Wyatt. So I was way more interested in all that young talent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of those things where I was just like, I'm like, yeah, Paul's actually right here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now I'm kind of hoping he whoops his ass.
Yeah.
Because he does sound really self-entitled and self-indulgent.
We never got to see it because Punk's just like the Bucks. He decided that he was going to take his ball and go home.
No, we got to see the SummerSlam match.
Well, it was a SummerSlam
and then
match,
we never got to see the WrestleMania payoff.
Which, by the way, Punk even confirmed he was about to go over. And I was like, really? You couldn't have just done that?
So, yeah, it was like, so Triple H is going to put you over.
Yeah.
And you still acted like a little bitch. And
well, not only that, but
it's
like, dude, at that point, you were still kind of a young guy. What if you had just taken that momentum into next year's WrestleMania?
He was a constant main eventer.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you weren't in main event matches, but when you're the champion, you're the guy. Just because, listen, Hogan is a guy who, when he was the champ, he was the last match.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold, sure. Even Triple H himself, sure. But I'm like, well, think of Triple H's second half and him winning his championships in the second half of his career.
Can you hear that, by the way?
No,
Okay,
you're
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Most of
it's still kind of hot up here.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
It was most of his stuff. We have an AC in here, guys.
Yeah.
It's a lot of computer stuff. It gets warm where we record.
Yep.
Here's the thing.
It's also a kitchen.
Yeah, that's true.
So
here's the thing. It's one of those things where even in the second half, he wasn't always the main event as a champion.
He has the most WrestleMania losses.
Yeah.
And he's also a 14-time world champion.
Right.
So when you think about that, clearly somebody who understood what business meant at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's it's one of those things. Like I said, the more I listened to the Triple H side of the promos, I went, yeah, Punk seems really self-indulgent. And then, like I said, in ROH, I was a Punk fan.
Yeah.
But I was just like, there is a cockiness to his character that doesn't feel like it's just a character.
Well, but that was what you said about the Bucks, was you said they just seem very disingenuous.
Well, them, I just thought that of them as people watching the line go through. Now, I'm like, they could be partly kayfabe right now, but I'm like, they feel really over cocky right now.
Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling that shit.
Which is funny because in an actual fight, I don't think they could actually beat anybody.
I'm not even going to answer that. But what I do know is so I'll say this. So we've gotten a chance to kind of get back into our indie scene around here.
Yeah.
And by the way, MAW,
They're killing it.
SDW,
First Wrestling now has Second Wrestling. First Wrestling, by the way.
Forgive me, I'm forgetting the name, but there's a good promotion up there in North Dakota.
Yeah.
That he's a big part of.
Also, by the way, First Wrestling going back to the Mall of America.
Yes.
Big news in September there.
So I mean, there's a lot of great stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Saturdays at 11:30, 11 o'clock in Minnesota, you can actually catch MAW Warriors. Otherwise, you can catch it on Sunday. I believe it's on YouTube at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So go and watch it. Actually, on
and
YouTube,
they're very consistent about it, too.
Yes. And on YouTube, they actually release more footage than what they can on TV.
Yeah.
So it's very good stuff. Plus, they give you like a weekly thing. It's really cool stuff.
Oh, it's so much fun.
But yeah, it's being a part of the scene and getting to see the indie wrestlers again. It's one of those things. It reminds you, one, these are actual people. Two,
Yeah.
you know what they do, put their bodies on the line, and three, what does wrestling actually mean to you as a fan?
Yeah.
And like I always, and this is why I became a big Lanie Luck fan. We went to the one show we helped, and I'm watching Lanie Luck, and I'm watching her interact with the kids, and it redawned on me, that's what this was about.
Yeah.
It's a source of art, entertainment.
Well, that's why, even though he plays for the worst team in baseball, Joey Votto is such a great guy because he always interacts with the fans, no matter what park he's in.
Right, and he's in,
and we get it,
right?
And Jesse, we get it. New York will get him in a year, all right.
He should have been here 3 years ago, but I digress. But yeah, it's one of those things where like
you're gonna win 120 games. You're fine.
You know, when I saw Lanie Luck, it was like this is what it means. This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Seeing the kids, the parents interacting with her. I'm like, this is what pro wrestling is about. Because I used to go, like, my mom wasn't the biggest fan, but she would take me to shows.
Yeah, exactly.
My dad was a fan,
yeah,
but he knew as a kid I loved it, so he would take me and my brothers to the shows.
How many garden shows did you actually go to?
Oh, my God.
Really?
I can't even count how many shows in the garden or hell, just...
and the garden really is what everyone says it is.
Right.
The mystique is actually like I mean, AJ Styles talked about the first time he went in there. The fog machines are already going, and that was a live event. That wasn't even television. But I mean, like the garden really is what the mystique is.
Oh yeah, and it's or the shows in Philly, of course, the 2300 Arena.
Yep.
Which. Go to PWL. There's a lot of guys out there in Philly that will tell you about the historic.
And they're trying to get into to WrestleMania Philly, which is going to be WrestleMania 40. They announced
2 years.
2 years.
We might have to go visit our boys out there in the PWL.
Well, might have to sell a kidney. I might be the only good kidney right now.
Man, I was looking at price for WrestleMania Hollywood, and I was like, man, listen, make sure you guys as friends are liking the stuff, and we hope you like it. Sign up for the Patreon.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're going to see you guys as fans of California. We're going to need to write that bitch off. But yeah, no, it's...
Well, we need an accountant first.
Right. Here's the thing. It's seeing the independent wrestlers and interacting with them was a reminder of what pro wrestling actually meant to me, what it can mean, and all the dynamics of it. And when I think of Punk in the Bucks, I just think, well, these guys would have worked in the early 2000s and late 90s because they're selfish as fuck.
Thank you.
Now, I'm not saying there isn't a reason for them to be selfish.
Right, no, yeah.
I think any wrestler should get their money, get their health care. I'm all about it.
That's why I'm not mad that Punk is getting a reported $8 million.
Right.
But, bro, okay, what's the issue with the Deshaun Watson contract? It reset the quarterback market. And you're the first person to say,
By the way, though, now because he might get suspended for a year, we're learning.
yeah.
They did put protections in there for themselves.
Oh, there's a lot of money on the back end of the deal than there's the first deal. But and despite what happened to Kyler Murray, which you say wasn't even a black thing, that's just the kid doesn't want to actually do the work.
Right.
Even though he didn't get 20 to 30% more,
Right.
Jesse, one guy resets the market for the next guy.
Yeah.
So the fact that Punk is still the highest paid guy tells you a lot of what he's willing to do for himself.
Right. And it's just.
But the momentum, Jesse, what has happened to their television? What has happened to their build? Because here's the thing. We want it's funny.
It's a
Triple H is bringing back all these guys,
Yeah.
but who is considered the hoarder right now? Tony Khan.
Tony Khan.
He's hoarding everybody. He signed a guy that WWE cut for a legitimate reason on the guy's part. They signed him a week later.
Which was crazy to me.
He was in the upper mid card, decided to make a stupid mistake with the wellness policy, which, by the way, I've learned is not that hard of a wellness policy to just stick to.
I'm about to say it's not hard to pass.
It's really not that hard to pass a test.
Because I'm sure Vince was still taking steroids this late in his life.
Oh yeah, exactly. But the thing is like they signed the guy a week later.
Right. Yeah. No, Tony Khan is the reason they haven't carried this momentum. That's what I was basically getting to.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the talent is there that they should have been able to compete with Raw at this point.
He has a lot of Ring of Honor guys too,
right?
And there, by the way, quick question: you're mad at your boy Billy, but you still love Billy because of everything he's giving you a sense. Where's the ROH TV deal that we keep talking about,
bro? I don't.
He's had ROH for like a good 3 months now.
I got nothing. So I've been looking into like some of my sources and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And by the way, their deals are coming up here, and they still got to impress David Zaslav for him to even want to invest more in it.
Yeah.
Because David is not.
Because I read WWE is due for like I think a 3 to 5% increase, and someone wrote that AEW might be like a 10% increase. Guys, the difference from 3 to 5% on $1 billion deal
right.
to 3 to 5% from 120 some million,
right.
that's not equal.
That's not equal.
That's not equal, y'all.
So
okay, slow down.
Basically, Warner Brothers is still paying nothing for this.
Oh yeah, no, Warner Brothers, dude. Okay, you want to know something? They
spent more re-putting out the Zack Snyder Justice League.
Yeah. You want to know what's funny though? Warner Brothers, legitimately, I guarantee you, when they acquired everything, turned around and they were like, "Okay, it's not animated because they seem to be moving away from animation, but." It's so low on our. They probably didn't know about how much they were paying for it till about a month after the transaction because it's not even on the books for that big of a deal.
They don't give a shit.
They made more money on Shark Week.
Now here was a
Shark Week paid for AEW's year.
I thought it was interesting though that Discovery did kind of show up. I mean, MJF kind of put it out there. I mean, they were there to watch the show and see how things work. Interesting. That was the week where they didn't do a lot of blood.
Yeah, no, that was kind of funny. The execs were in the building, and the only thing that was non-dynamite-y was the guy saying "fuck you." Right. And by the way, to your point, he wasn't cut off because they didn't like what he was saying. They said because again, he broke the wall in the way Punk did. Because again, this is the sureness of Punk again. Punk just kept going, so everyone thought that his mic just got turned off because his last words were a personal story about Vince.
Right.
MJF looked right up at the producer that was counting him down and said, "Don't cut me, don't count me down."
Right.
So, like you reported, he was given a time slot, and he went over it.
Right.
That's what he did.
Right. That's what he did.
But yeah, no, that week looked a lot like Vince's show, if you know what I'm saying. That week was pretty PG there, folks.
Besides MJF's promo, it was very PG.
Yeah, because guess who was in the building?
David Zaslav and all those executives.
some important people.
So, I mean, they'll probably get the increase.
Yeah.
Because
inflation alone will do that.
Well, David and a lot of that team, like I said, I already kind of reported, and a lot of people, Sean Ross Sapp, have now reported and stuff about how he was just like, well, listen. Basically admitting it's not that large of an investment.
No.
I like the company. Mm-hmm. We're willing to actually really put more stock into it.
Yeah.
Because they're paying nothing for it.
No. And by the way,
Like when he looks at what Fox and
USA.
Universal
Yeah.
are paying WWE, he goes, "Oh, I'm paying nothing for."
and
pro
not to mention the
wrestling."
fact, here's the funny part: as long as he's not paying for you, he doesn't care what your ratings are.
Right.
He doesn't care. Now, WWE has to actually average 1.5 because otherwise Fox is going to go back to you and be like, we're paying. Because USA, we'll get to them in a little bit, they're already not happy that Roman's not working Mondays.
Right.
Because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesday. Which is funny that NXT's on Tuesday now because Triple H works Tuesday.
Right. He has to work Monday, Tuesday.
It took a heart
Wednesday.
attack for him to finally work
Right,
Tuesdays.
right.
And Vince retiring.
Here's the thing. It's like I said.
And by the way, for those of you that still don't understand that, they taped SmackDown on Tuesday back then.
Yes, they did.
That's why the
And then
Paul
put it on
made
Thursday,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. That's why Paul made the joke.
So, or even back then when he was running it, quote unquote Friday, it was still taped on Tuesday.
Right? Yeah.
But now they just do it live Friday.
Yeah.
It's actually better that way. They actually make more money that
Exactly.
way.
Yeah.
Because now you can hire two separate teams.
And you're
blah,
not
blah,
getting
blah,
the
blah.
Rampage blowout. Or
They basically hand you close to 2 million fans to be like, go ahead, watch their show.
Yeah.
And they don't tune in.
they give you 3 minutes to be there at the top of the hour,
Right.
and 380,000.
That shit's incredible.
Because the rest of us are going to bed.
Well, either you're gonna go party, or you're like, dude, I'm going to sleep. I'm too old to be watching this shit at like 9:30.
Yeah, dude.
Or you're a geek like me, where it's just like, well, I haven't watched New Japan yet. Before I go to sleep, so let me check out New Japan.
I gotta get one more day of the G1 done.
But yeah, the fact that they aren't even close in numbers
Yeah.
to Raw, that's a failure in booking. That's all on Tony Khan.
Yeah. Okay. And you know, it's interesting because Battle of the Belts ended up being not a bad show.
No.
The problem was, like most people actually are finally starting to tell you, Tony, dude, the show came out of nowhere.
Well, it was only announced like 2 weeks ago or something that I remember.
Takashita, and I guess you say his name another way, but Takashita's how I've been doing it.
Takashita. Yes, Takashita.
Takashita? Okay.
Yeah.
Takashita's been doing well
Kinosuke Takashita.
Yeah, against a lot of top guys.
Yeah.
But yet his matches get no build. He's just there.
Their build is bad.
So now we get to once again, I'm on AllEliteWrestling.com for the results because they're dumb enough to not make me pay for it. Bleacher Report, fuck you. We're never gonna get them on the show. But
they probably won't like us now.
That's fine. So here we go, Jesse. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jay Lethal with Sanjay Dutt. Sanjay, you quit producing backstage to do this? Really?
Different regime. I really don't think a lot of people thought Vince was going anywhere.
Well, that's fair.
So I'll give them the pass.
And Satnam Singh is apparently still a project. I use the word project.
Well, he's
really.
featured more on TV than Omos is, so.
Well, that makes you happy that Omos is not on TV as much as he was.
Well, he needed more work anyway.
Yeah. Versus freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. I'm gonna skip through a bunch of this because, again, this is what we're doing with Jay Lethal.
Basically, they had a good match.
Yeah.
There was some interference. Jay put him away. Jay threatened to break his ankle to get Wardlow to come out.
Best friends come down.
Well, best friends.
They should have
come
stayed
down.
off TV because this is worse for them than.
Dude, they had the best friends do the freaking thing from Little Rascals. Did you see that shit?
Yep.
Chuck E. T's better than this. Trent Beretta is better than this.
Trent, who's not even allowed to use his last name.
What the?
Oh, by the way, I thought Vince was the only one that took
hold on.
people's names away.
You mean Trent? This is bullshit. But besides that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
This
with
was
these
also the
guys?
first mention of Battle of the Belts 3 on AEW television, as far as I remember, was Sanjay going after Wardlow came down to beat up,
right?
Lethal. How about
You
this?
know what I've realized? What's killing me with AEW recently? Sometimes it's not the matches themselves. The matches themselves are good.
Yeah.
Like, I can actually get into the matches. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is good stuff. It's the bullshit afterwards.
It's the
where I'm
placenta.
like, this is how you're moving your stories?
Yeah.
This is not a shot at MAW. This is actually promoting them. I've seen them do this way better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way better. And they have not as large of a budget as you.
No. Not
Come
at all.
on, man.
Not at all. But anyway, Sanjay Dutt, how about this, Wardlow? Battle of the Belts 3.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that was the moment that I found out about Battle of the Belts. Because they didn't announce the Claudio match until Thursday.
Right.
This was when I found out about Battle of the Belts on Saturday night.
Right.
Which, by the way, I watched this morning. I did not waste a Saturday night with my girl watching Battle of the Belts.
I didn't watch it live.
Yeah.
I watched because
Well, same. I watched it.
they had because I still pay for cable, which I don't know why. Don't ask me, people.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And so I watched the West Coast replay of it on TNT West Coast.
Yeah.
Which was it. So the Claudio and Konosuke match was actually freaking phenomenal.
Oh, no, it was great. The kid can go. I feel like when he gets back to Japan, Gato's going to like this kid.
Well, because he was signed with All Japan Pro.
Yeah.
He's been on excursion.
Yeah.
There's a chance he doesn't go back to Japan. I think there's a chance Tony actually will offer him a contract to stay.
A pretty fair contract. Yeah.
And probably a pretty good one. Because you'll have to kind of push this kid as a monster baby face and all that. Now, luckily, I actually enjoyed this the most because there was no afterbirth.
Well, the rest of the show went downhill after this. Anyway, by the way, I want to get to Wardlow's response.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because Wardlow's response is something that we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
Sure.
Because WWE has lifted a ban on something involving literature. Words, we'll say.
Sure.
And AEW apparently has not put a ban on words that are going to get you banned off television. Columbus, Ohio, welcome to Wardlow's World. Oh, wait, I thought Vince was the only one that created stupid things like that. No, apparently you guys are doing that too. If you ain't got the balls to do it tonight, I don't care what time, what city, the end result is Wardlow, talking about himself in the third person, is going to whoop you. So he'll say whoop you, can't say destroy you, can't say beat you, he'll say whoop you.
Whoop that ass. That's
but he
what
said, if you have the ball, like, seriously, I said Jade, now this. Can we go one segment where you're not shoving it in people's faces that you can swear more than WWE? Can we go one segment where they don't talk? Because here's the deal, Jesse. Not even we throw the F-bomb, shit, bitch. We don't even throw it in conversation as much as these guys do. On a scripted show.
Right.
Jade Cargill, like, you are setting, and this is racial, you're setting people's vocabulary back to, like, 11-year-olds discovering the word bitch.
You know what's funny? Because, I mean, a lot of people like the promo. I don't mind the Jade Cargill promo. But at this point, I know what she's going to say.
Yeah.
At some point, she's going to say, this is that bitch show.
Yeah.
She's going to say that she's that bitch.
Yeah.
And she's going to say, I'm going to whoop that ass.
And she's going to throw shit in there somehow.
Right,
I don't know how.
Either Tony cut the shit, or you're full of shit.
Yeah. Because she did it to Madison.
Yeah.
Which was, by the way, that's how you find out Madison Rayne is a part of AEW. That's how you find out.
Actually, I knew because of Impact, but I'm one of the few 100,000 that
Which is
actually.
sad because
I know Impact really does great.
We have to talk about some news because apparently, Jesse, they have made some talent changes.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Vince and Stephanie did that too with Triple H and blah, blah, blah. But you make Tony Schiavone part of the... Tony Schiavone left wrestling for 30 years.
He did.
And they think that he's some golden god on the microphone.
Which I don't understand.
Which, Jesse...
I don't get it.
He wasn't even that guy...
I just realized listening to myself, I sounded like Shaq. Just, I don't know. I don't get it. It's just weird to me.
So anyway, next up, the undisputed elite... The UE of the Indie returned.
You know what? Just call Stephanie. I bet you she'll sell it back to you.
Yeah, you know what? Why not?
Yeah, go ahead, take the name. We don't care.
They got to cover up the hush money anyway. So
right. We got to get some of that money back. So.
Yeah. So anyway, Adam Cole comes out. He says it's good to be back in this ring. Is he really healed at this point? There's no way. He hasn't been gone that long.
What has he been gone? Like.
He's been gone like maybe a month.
It's been about a month.
For a torn whatever he had? There's no way.
You might... I wish Leroy was here because I'm
hold
very
on.
bad at research.
Well, but here's the thing. He did say, unfortunately, I am still not medically cleared. But WWE's smart. They at least take these people off television for a little while. And I know I'm the guy that always talks about find more ways to use them. But when they're a big guy, you don't want to water them down by just having them talk all the time, a la Jericho.
Because I think Redragon is cleared now.
Oh, yeah, no.
Now, they played their part up in the
Yeah.
segment, but I think they
Yeah.
actually are. I think they are cleared.
But anyway,
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if
He-
he's actually cleared or not.
he talks a scripted promo that you knew where it was going the second he opened his mouth.
Well, the moment they all came out together, I'm like, well, clearly the Undisputed Era is turning heel here.
Yeah. The Undisputed Elite. But I get your point. Adam Cole and Redragon ambush the Bucks.
All I'm gonna
and by the way, can I
say-
point something out about this moment? Not to cut you off. The fans didn't exactly react to their favorite tag team getting their asses whooped. Like, they were kind of quiet when they turned on the Bucks.
Well, let's be fair. Number one, there were some crying kids. They were there.
Bad parenting right there.
To quote Roman Reigns once, fuck them kids.
Yep.
To quote Brock Lesnar, I don't give a shit about your kids. To quote Triple H, oh, your kids are going to suck just like you and like pal. First of all, I'm not actually making fun of the kids.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like I said, I actually thought that was beautiful.
Yeah,
that they're into the Bucks like
Yep.
that. That's
Yeah.
like I said, I love kids in pro wrestling because
Yep.
it's just it reminds you that pro wrestling is supposed to be
You got them
entertainment.
hooked. Yep.
But let's be fair. Their reactions were not the reactions of the majority of the fans. The majority of the fans went, of course they turned.
Because this is now Big Show wrestling.
Of course.
We have to turn somebody every week.
Every week somebody has to turn on somebody.
Yep.
And also, in this case...
Because that's how wrestling was done back in the old territory days of success. Every week, somebody's character changed.
The problem is because this is on national television every week, this gets annoying.
Yeah.
Now, here it does work.
What got annoyed was Tony Schiavone using the one of 3 lines that he says every week. I can't believe it, we just witnessed. Really, Tony? Because you saw it last week, the week before, and a month ago.
Every week somebody gets beat up by a friend. Every week.
It's I can't believe what we just witnessed. You're right, Excalibur, and Sting. Those are the 3 things Tony says the most on this show.
You know what? I got to be honest. I actually don't understand why this man is still doing commentary.
Let him be the ring announcer guy.
Right.
Let him be the interviewer. He's
Right.
good at
He's
that.
great at that.
But stop taking the mic from him. Like, I'm sorry, Jim Cornette is right. The visual of you sitting there talking does kind of make a sports aspect of it. Because in sports, you don't take the microphone from the interviewer.
No.
You just talk.
Now, unlike you, I'm not going to give them
In a
too much
heated
crap
way,
on that.
if a top guy does it in a heated way,
Sure,
I get it. When
sure.
Jungle Boy did it to say the word pussy, I didn't get it. That was the best promo he'd done, but the bar wasn't high.
To give Jungle Boy credit, I mean, he would know a lot about pussy.
This is true. well, to be fair, Anna Jay is a little busy appreciating something else right now, so...
But, you know, I don't even like to promote other people, but that's not true. I promote other people for free, so you just let me know and I'll promote you.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a YouTuber, I forget his name right now, who did a segment of how many people Jungle Boy has actually dated within the wrestling scene. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Nikita Lyons is actually one of them.
Anyway,
I'm jealous.
so Adam Cole offered his hand to Matt and Nick Jackson. They accepted. Tony, can we say it? Are the Elite back? This whole segment, and then again, your former world champion Adam Page was involved in this. What are we doing? What was this?
Let's get a little analytical quick.
Please.
I have always said when it comes to the Young Bucks, my biggest issue with them is their storytelling.
Yeah.
Also the fact that I get that you have story beats in a match. Certain wrestlers like certain story beats. No problem with that. But even in the future, we actually will have more wrestlers who actually will come on, be on the whole show. And trust me, you definitely want to come to us because you're probably not going to get that anywhere else.
No.
Where they're going to actually be able to speak kind of freely depending on what they're doing.
Yeah.
And what they don't want to speak on, we're not going to have them speak on. We're very respectful of that. But Even the young Arlen, who by the way will have a couple of upcoming big time matches here.
He will, yeah.
Was speaking about if this we were in this one location, I'll name Crystal Lake, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And there were some fans that were there, but now we're in St. Paul, and some of the same fans are there.
Yeah.
Well, you got to change your story beats a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they have to know. They have to be a little surprised by something you're going to do.
Well, but this is the thing you've been harping on, and surprisingly, a lot of people, because of the Vince hate, which we'll get to in a little bit, they're not agreeing with you, even though you, unlike them, have actually watched everything the Bucks have done. It's the same cadence.
Yeah.
You and Jim, despite not liking what he does, you guys agree all the time in the sense that when it's a Bucks match, you can call every spot.
Yeah. Every single one.
You can call everything they're going to do.
Right.
You know where it goes from
Right.
minute to minute. And it's just not fun. Anyway, so now Jon Moxley comes out. Actually, no, it doesn't even come out. He was backstage. We can't even. So the world champion can't come out to the live audience and do an interview. He has to do it backstage. Why? Because Moxley's the rebel. He's the outcast.
My problem with Mox on the show wasn't the backstage interview. Let me get into my problem with Mox on the show. Your guy's taking an ass whooping. You still got to come through the crowd forever.
Thank you.
To get to your guy.
But you were backstage.
You could have just ran down the damn ramp like a normal pro wrestler.
Yeah.
But this is the pro wrestling show.
Yeah.
The fuck was that?
Well, Jim makes that joke all the time. Mox gets dressed in the parking lot for some reason, and he's never anywhere in the arena, but he's your world champion.
You're worth $6 million. Run down the fucking ramp. I am sorry.
No, you're fine.
And I love Jon Moxley.
I know you do.
Run down the Go ahead.
All right. The only line that I thought was messed up, because he always gives a decent promo, was, and when the BCC is all said and done, we're going to make the Heart Dungeon look like a daycare.
Good luck.
Well, first of all, Jim Cornette told the story.
Good luck.
So before we even get to the real Heart Dungeon,
he
told the story on the podcast that when Chris Jericho was in the Heart Dungeon, there was no hearts.
No, there wasn't.
He and Lance Storm, they ended up teaching the class because they'd done some work.
Right.
One heart showed up the first day. Jesse, he wasn't in the real Heart Dungeon. By that point, and this isn't even insider. At that point, it was common knowledge. The dungeon was kind of closed down to really just friends and family.
Right.
They weren't really running a full school.
Right.
Also,
because Stu enjoyed teaching while actually beating up him.
Yeah, but the thing about it was that
sick man.
But
he's a good man.
Yeah, but now we get back to the line, Jesse. Some of the most hardened professionals ever came out of that wrestling.
Some of the best in the world came out of that damn way of training. But by the way, it's not too different from the New Japan dojos. I want to be clear with you guys. It's not too. Shibata and some of those other guys trust me, they're not very friendly in that damn dojo.
No.
But it's building you to start to build your body for what pro wrestling can do.
So what you're telling me is that if some of the people that did the tryouts in Pittsburgh had gone over to
this is why you just don't hire athletes.
Tennessee, I'm sorry, but yeah, no.
By the way, so he's talking about because there was a shit ton of injuries in Tennessee, and basically Triple H was like, "Yeah, we're done with this."
We're gonna go get indie
No, he's not
again.
killing the NIL program.
No.
Because that's how he got people like Bianca and all that. But yeah, we're not doing open tryouts.
No.
We'll come find you.
It was funny to see Dwight Howard talk. He's a free agent right now, but Dwight, you ain't taking these bumps.
He could do a celebrity match.
Right, and that'd be fine. But like Dwight Howard as a full-time guy.
I mean, he's 38 now. He's had a ton of surgeries on his knees.
Well, not only that, but Jesse, I'm sorry, folks, and I'm sorry to some of the NBA fans out there that might be listening. The NBA ain't 300 days on a mat.
No. And I mean, the hardwood can be bad, but no, not at all.
Yeah. But anyway, so first of all, Heart Dungeon, that's a whole other story. Like, I think even Shibata would have found the first couple of days to be a little rough.
I think he would have heard Mox say that and would have chuckled in what's the meme? Chuckle in anger. Just stupid
basically.
Idiot.
Now, Tony, I love this. Earlier in the day, Tony Schiavone tried to interview Christian Cage. Christian Cage was interrupted
Yeah.
by as Jungle Boy almost ran over Christian. So your babyface is trying to control.
I want to pause you. He didn't just almost run over Christian Cage. He almost ran over the interviewer.
He almost killed Shivani.
He almost killed Shivani. Oh my god.
But anyway,
you know, it's just crazy.
babyface is trying to commit vehicular manslaughter. Now we are in Florida. We have to remember that.
Right.
But this is your babyface pulling a Rikishi, doing it for The Rock. I'm surprised he didn't come out and say, "I did it for The Rock." No. Hold on a second.
I did it for my pop.
Pause. His dad was an actor. I did it for Dwayne.
I did it for my pop. I did it for the Luchasaurus. I did it.
By the way, I've actually gone back and I've rewatched the Jungle Boy promo. Again, the best promo he's done. The bar's not high.
Right.
But Jesse, you do realize the man basically explained that, quote, Luchasaurus was keeping Christian Cage so that I could get to him. And yet, so quick question. Have you apologized to the Varsity Blondes yet?
Because they took a hellacious ass whooping for you.
Yeah. You couldn't have let them in on it or something?
Like Luchasaurus destroyed them for you.
Yeah.
By the way, he's got nothing out of this.
Luchasaurus was interesting for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, he was interested. Even a Jim. Because he was doing big man shit.
You guys, everyone who's been happy about Vince retiring, woo, trust me. And unfortunately, we might be the culprits of changing your mind, but the more you keep watching AEW and the way Cocaine Tony books, yeah, you're going to be like, yeah, maybe I prefer Vince.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
At least Vince was sober.
He just lost, his mind just isn't what it was.
No. And then, of course, we go to Dr. DMD. Oh, yeah, by the way, she's still around. With Jamie Hayter.
She's going to be the champion again.
Yeah, because Jamie Hayter's out, broken nose.
Well, it's more than that. They haven't built. Let's get into this real quick.
Hold on. Versus Thunderstorm. Thunder. Sandbagging. Anyway. By the way, I love how even Thunder Rosa's been brought down by this fucking environment to where she's coming out with sandbagging merch. You're better than this, Thunder Rosa.
Apparently not.
It hurts me. It actually hurts to know.
This women's division is fucking terrible.
And by the way, little side note, the reports are they're going to give them their own full show.
That's not going to help.
Did you hear that they filed a trademark for
Yeah.
all elite women? By the way, nobody wanted that trademark, okay?
Yeah.
Nobody wanted that, so why are we doing it?
Yeah, no. It's going to be fucking terrible because it's going to be booked by the same guy.
Yeah. Kenny.
No, even worse, Tony.
Yeah. At least Kenny's straight edge, so Kenny's sober when he writes the women's division.
Well, and if it was Kenny, he would probably actually like give them time. Yeah, this is going to be bad.
Yeah. Another, if they put it on YouTube, oh well, we'll still watch it, but everybody else won't see the shit show that it's going to become.
Well, that's just.
But quick
because
question:
I'm
are
a
you going to
wrestling
take your
connoisseur.
world champion and put him on YouTube?
Oh, they've done it before.
No. But like more consistent. Like Thunder Rosa has been booked so. There's.
Oh yeah.
To think that she'll be doing most of her work not on Dynamite, but on YouTube. Now, Tony, we wouldn't be this angry if you weren't smart back during when the company started and realized you probably shouldn't put them on in the first place because you didn't need it right away. You didn't.
It is the most egregious thing I've ever seen in an American company. And Vince has done some terrible things with his women's division.
He has.
But it's never been this egregious.
Yeah. Even when he just threw it to Fit Finley and said, whatever, take him.
Fit made fucking gold. He was like, I will teach you girls, and they will have no choice. They'll get mad at you a lot. They'll probably fire me.
Yep.
But we're going to get you on.
Yep.
And, by the way, God bless you for that, Fit. But, yeah, this shit is egregious.
He got a slap on the wrist 1 week and said, okay, we'll pull it back. Then the next week, right back to the same
No
shit.
disrespect to Trish, Lita, the great Molly Holly,
Yeah.
Minnesota born.
Yeah.
I can go on and on and on.
Stacy even wanted to wrestle.
Right.
And Tori as well. They played their parts
Right.
really well as, quote, sex symbols.
Right.
But they really did want to
They
wrestle.
wanted to wrestle a lot more.
Yeah.
these women are much better wrestlers.
Yes.
It's actually the one thing when
Minus Penelope Ford, who has to go OnlyFans.
we'll talk about her shortly.
Do we have to?
Or not? I'm cool either way.
Oh.
But it's the one thing when Alexa was cutting her promo with Mickie James on Trish that she was right about. They are better now.
Yeah.
Like, the women are way better now. And to be fair, it's because of the times and the fact that people
Yeah.
take women's wrestling much more seriously.
Yeah.
By the way, Triple H of all people, I never saw that coming.
Right?
You would have told me in 2002 Triple H is going to be one of the
savior
biggest
of
advocates of
women's
women's
wrestling?
wrestling. I'm like, first of all, fuck you. Second off, where's the weed you just smoked?
Because it's old and
Right.
and it's rank.
And I want some of it because I want to be that high.
Right.
But yeah, and you are supposed to be the revolutionary, and you're treating this talented roster of women you have. Kylie Ray leaving when she did was the smartest thing she ever did.
Oh, yeah.
Because she would have been wasted. By the way, Darren Corbin did beat Kylie Ray.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, there's some good officiating for once for Darren. Darren finally got a good referee.
no comment. I've already earned my ball shot. No comment.
Yes, you
but
have.
Darren did win, so congratulations,
Yeah,
Darren.
nope. Congratulations. Oh, like we said last week, over 1,300 matches now.
Yes. Yeah. The guy actually probably is a Minnesota wrestling legend.
Oh, without a doubt.
I don't. I know this is crazy to talk about now because he's still active and he's still going. I don't know if/when he gets put into the Minnesota Wrestling Hall of Fame, though. That's the problem.
Yeah. But
Darren's been excellent.
By the way, we didn't even note, even though we made the joke about the Thundercats, Thunderstorm's Thunder Rosa's tag team partner. Oh yeah, it's that girl who was going to be SmackDown Women's Champion, and now had to start an OnlyFans.
Toni Storm is one of the best pro wrestlers on the planet.
She was great in Stardom.
And I understand her frustration with Vince's WWE.
Yes.
I still understand it.
But look, here's the part I never got, even though, again, she did what was best for herself mentally. But here's the deal. Why? Okay, if she'd done this when she was still in catering, I would have gotten it more. But you did it in the middle of the run. And I get it. Her mental health had come at her. But, like, why are you still thinking about catering when you're on the show every week?
Well, here's my problem. So she was on Oral Sessions with Renee.
Yeah. By the way, we will plug that. Please go listen. Renee's great.
Renee does a fantastic
She
fucking
is,
job.
and there's a reason why ESPN wanted her when her contract
Right.
was up.
But, yeah, because I listened to the one with CJ Perry and we might have to talk about that next week. I got to tear that woman a new one, I think. Because the Redeemer has not, and I'm disappointed in him for not doing so. So here's the thing, man. I don't understand the bitterness because there's what I got from her is this sense that they didn't really see anything in me. But if Charlotte was going to put you over, you were going to be champion.
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, folks, it's been confirmed.
Right.
Her wedding was supposed to be earlier.
Right.
She wasn't supposed to carry through to Ronda.
Charlotte's plan was to get the belt off of herself so she can go spend time with Andrade. She also now started a jewelry business.
Yes.
Like she's been out there doing other stuff, and she needed a break from pro. She really did.
Oh God! God!
Anytime we were talking about Charlotte, I was just like, I hope she goes away.
Yeah.
For not only her, but my mental capacity of watching her just go through the motions.
Yes.
But you understandably walked away. Non-understandably walked away. But there's still this bitterness. Why? This is what you wanted.
They didn't send you a cease and desist. They didn't keep you under contract. They didn't force you. They literally let you leave.
Because Vince probably just thought, I'll find another blonde and do it, which, unfortunately, he was right. He did it with Liv. But it's one of those things I don't get it. Because when she was on and she was talking about, she basically made it sound like they were trying to run her out of WWE, which
was not the case.
I'm like, if Charlotte wants to put the title on you, no.
No,
I get it. It was a toxic work environment.
Because you listed your three people that at the time could have gone to Vince and said anything. It went Roman, Seth, and then probably Charlotte.
And so Bayley took some heat recently because I think when Bayley was talking about, people should stop complaining all the time
Yeah.
and like sometimes sit back in the moment and think about where you are in your career and what you're doing at that point in time. I think she was kind of referencing some of this stuff with Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Like, Tony, like you were going to get shot to the moon. What is this bitterness coming from? It's so weird.
Yeah, it's just
It's so weird. And by the way, you're bitter. You were bitter about that, but this is what you're doing now.
she's the fourth most popular person in this story. It goes Britt
Fourth?
No.
She's below Reba.
Rebel.
Whatever. She's hot, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, why is she wrestling?
I don't know. You're not the third wheel. You're not the fourth wheel. You're the spare tire in this situation.
I'm about to say she's the junk tire that you hide under in the damn trunk. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
well, you just desperately need it and you whip it out.
Yeah, basically. All right.
She's Ruby Soho.
Yeah. Well, Ruby's currently in the junkyard. Sorry.
Tony will be there soon.
Yeah. Anyway, so holy crap, this is a long paragraph that they wrote on this thing. Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti were shown in Paris and announced they are busy this week getting married. Eddie Kingston interrupted the video package. He and Sammy had a receipt and a contract coming.
Man.
See you at the pay-per-view. So let me get this straight. You were going to be offered a fairly decent living for you to just be a part-time guy wrestling but a full-time trainer in NXT. But this is better.
No, it's fine. You know what? It's like I said, I'm done with trying to analyze Eddie Kingston. I'm at a point. Do you think, man? Do you, boo? You do. To quote the great Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks, you do you, boo. Eddie, you do you, boo. I don't have to like it. I don't have to watch it. And that's fine when you come on. And trust me, I'm turning it off. From in the arena, I'm going to go take a shit.
Yeah.
So you do you, boo.
Yeah.
That's where I am with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
I see you in the shit. I'm not even saying hi. You
No.
do you, boo.
Yep. Anyway, from the broadcast booth.
By the way, from Jericho to Sammy Guevara, that's where his feud has gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still a part of the JAS, so the feud's not over between him and Jericho. What is the longest wrestling feud continuously on television?
Oh, we're getting there with these two.
I'm aware. From the broadcast booth, Taz said Team Taz was finished. Really? Really? So we go a week where we turn Ricky Starks, who apparently some people, and there will be no names, thought was finally getting a push, but he wasn't on the show. The guy's a former television world champion.
Don't worry. Keep talking because I'm going to go in on a second.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. A former modern-day NWA world television champion is not over, apparently, and needs help. Okay, anyway.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah, go ahead.
The way we end Team Taz,
Yep.
the quote-unquote implosion,
Yeah.
even though Hook and Starks clearly showed respect to each other,
Yeah.
is Taz going, you know what, you guys, okay, you tell me nothing. I'm done with all of you except my son, but I'm done with the rest of you. What the fuck is that? What? This is good storytelling, though.
Good.
To those you know what?
Good long-term
You know what?
storytelling.
I'm with you, Stans. This is great storytelling, guys. You know what? You fucking finally got me, man. I just need Taz to go ahead and just come out and say, you know what? The hell with these guys, okay? I only care about my son. Team Taz is over. It's through. But then he actually showed care for Ricky Starks when he tried to come out, fight Hobbs, and get his ass whooped. Okay. Go ahead, continue. It's bullshit, but okay.
To basically say, Ren Jones got a spot on the show. Apparently that was a fun thing.
Good for Ren Jones.
Yeah, congrats, kid. I hope the paycheck was worth this bad segment. Darby Allin was... This is what they wrote on their own website. You ready for this?
Go for it.
Darby Allin was somewhere tattooing Brody King's name on his head. So you can't even give love to the tattoo shop that was doing this.
Yeah, here's the thing. Number one, I'm trying to enjoy Darby Allin, but the tragedy of the end of his career, probably in a year, is going to be one of the most heartbreaking things ever.
Well, it's time for a coffin drop on an actual coffin again.
Yep, he's going to do it again.
Again, people wonder why I'm so pissed. It's like because nobody remembers these spots. Because guess what? They do them 3 times a month.
In this case, it'll be the second time this year.
Yeah. Remember when Undertaker did a Buried Alive like once every 5 years?
I know. Like, it was so rare.
And it was to revamp his
Right.
character?
It was like rare anytime he did it. Yeah. And
Also, by the way, I know.
And by the way, they were like connected to mostly him, Kane, and Mankind.
Yeah,
that was it.
Oh, by the way, to talk about this, you talk about like you mentioned him on the podcast, Tony, about how he's signed for 5 years, but. So it's Darby Allin versus Brody King, the second most important person in Malachi Black's faction. Really? I know Tommy's a nice guy, but come on, Jesse, what is this? He could go back to WWE. They'll pick up the stuff that's on the showroom floor that they already filmed. Triple H will give it. Like, there's got to be an out clause somewhere in this contract.
In a year, he's going to regret signing with AEW.
For 5? Yeah.
Like I said, I will give them all the benefit of the doubt of the fact that with Vince there, I get why they were like, I got to go see where else my grass is green.
Yeah.
But damn.
And Tommy, all you had to do was wait like another year, bro.
Like I said, I'll give them an out because I listen. You would have told me a year ago this is happening to Vince, I wouldn't have believed you.
True.
Because there's not a scandal that's ever stuck on this fucking man.
True.
But I'm just like, not a 3-year deal.
And, yeah. And by the way, the scandal still wouldn't have stuck if he had used his own bank account.
I'm about to say, yeah, he'd have been fine.
He'd still be in charge.
He'd still be in charge. He'd still be fine. So yeah, it's like I said, I'll give them an out. But the fact that you guys sign these like 5 to 7 year deals, you're gonna fucking regret that.
Well, after this weird,
hey, give Tony Khan that.
Yeah,
he can't run a soccer team, but he get wrestlers assigned long term.
Yeah, right. Well. After that, Jim Ross finally joined the broadcast.
Yeah.
Apparently, even though it's their own website, Dynamite still has to be in all caps.
That's weird.
So it was Jim Ross calling Christian Cage versus Matt Hardy. So apparently, as the sign read in the front row, and once again, if there was ever a time where maybe a sign should have been blocked out like WWE does, I played this match on WWF No Mercy.
That shit was hilarious, though.
So... And by the way, you want to know what's funny? That match probably featured JR on commentary.
For sure. For sure. When I saw that sign, it actually almost took me out the match. Because I literally died. I'm like, it's true!
Yeah.
I did play this on No Mercy.
Yeah.
JR was probably commentating it with King.
Yeah. And you know what? Tony Schiavone might have actually still been in the business.
Right.
During the game.
Oh, my God.
So we're skipping this because... Jesse, this was the same match they've had in WWE like 8 times over.
It was a little bit more physical because both guys are older now, so they got to wrestle a different style. But I thought it was fine.
And Hardy had to go through a table.
But he's smart about the way he does it.
Well, yeah, because they almost killed him the first time.
Well, I'm just referencing more to his brother, who never goes through a table the correct way.
Yeah.
And then wonders why he has the back issues, which leads to his damn other issues.
Yeah. Tony Schiavone was backstage with Daniel Garcia. Tony Schiavone, once again, the hardest working man in wrestling, even though 90% of what he does is pre-taped.
Right.
My win against Daniel or Bryan. Sorry, again, he was Daniel Bryan forever. Hey, look who just walked in.
Hey, welcome on in, Leroy. So we fixed
the little mic issue. Apparently that mic wasn't good on volume.
It was actually a little lower.
Yeah, so we fixed it. Oh, hey, yeah. So anyway, Garcia.
Sounds good.
My win against Bryan Danielson was the biggest win in AEW. I am the Dragon Slayer. Brian, whenever you're ready to come back from injury, I'm going to slay the dragon again. That was it. That was the end of this. Schiavone got no question in. Schiavone got no attempt. Make sure it's on.
Oh no, you're good. It's on. Here's the thing.
This is, by the way, this is pushing a guy. By the way,
this is a terrible fucking promo. Listen.
it was 3 sentences.
Anyone who knows me knows I love Daniel Garcia.
Ever since the first Terminus,
right? I am in love with this kid's talent.
You are driving his band.
I am driving. He's gonna be a success.
Yeah,
but fuck, this was terrible. I think people were not cheering; they were laughing. It was like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
If he comes back and fights you again, he's probably going to beat the shit out of you. What are you talking about, bro?
You're not going to get the same American Dragon. And by the way, up until his quote injury from the missile drop kick,
right,
he was whooping your ass.
Like, he was fucking you up.
You were getting your ass whooped.
And now listen. Now some people are because I was on Reddit. And I literally was like, guys, this was a fucking terrible promo. And so I was like, well, he is a heel. He is lying, of course. Jake helped. Like, this is a heel promo. I'm like, even in that sense, this was such a terrible fucking promo. Like, this was so damn bad. Because it just, sometimes when he speaks, especially
welcome
in this
Leroy.
sense. By the way, Leroy, welcome.
Yeah, I said I was listening. As you saw, I listened to your voice.
Yeah.
How's Mom?
I had a dead spot in between, so I missed a few minutes.
It's all good.
Mom is doing good.
Okay.
She is getting home. Me and my older brother, we got to get her that lovely little necklace.
Right.
Yeah.
Thing. So
Yeah.
we're working on that, and
All right.
she's good. She had a
fantastic.
kidney and kidney stones and bladder infection.
Oh, wow.
That
boy.
probably did not help her out in her
Probably not.
situation.
Probably not.
That's what they're guessing.
So after this happened, it's time for everyone's favorites. Used to be part of arguably the best tag team in all of wrestling.
Right.
All Ego Ethan Page was in the ring. Surprisingly, no Dan Lambert. No Dan Lambert was around. Apparently, Ethan Page is going to talk for himself. He doesn't need the Jim Cornette light material from Dan Lambert.
Right.
Jesse, would you like
Dude,
to...
he's basically been coming out and cutting, quote-unquote, I hate you, Mark's promos on Tony Khan.
Well, this is the one that got weird. He basically said, by the way, once again, referred to himself in third person. Couldn't say I, had to say Ethan Page. All I'm saying is, people, no one actually talks like this.
Right.
So, like, when Jim Cornette gets angry at wrestling, it's more so that the veil is that everyone is making it look phony. That's really what he's angry about.
Right.
If you got some dumbasses, it doesn't help.
Well, anyway, he says, when my T-shirt goes on sale, you nitwits are first in line for Orange Cassidy or CM Punk.
By the way, I actually did like the AEW fans actually like loudly cheering. They're like, yes, we do.
Well,
but anyway,
I would be the same way.
and now, because apparently Jade Cargill doesn't need a promo person anymore, Stokely Hathaway shows up. This is like the 5th person he's given a business card to in the last 3 weeks.
So here's the
Hey,
weird
Leroy,
thing.
by the way, I need more business cards. What a transition.
That is a good lead-in. Here is
Yes, I'm going to order some more.
Perfect. All right, but back to this.
I got a show to go to.
Here's the weird thing about the Stokely thing. So I think from what I've heard rumor-wise, she's actually getting her own full faction. Because to be fair, she's probably the better of all the characters and stuff. And because she's probably the best of all the characters that they're going to put into a faction, she should lead her own faction, and I have no problem with that. But why put Stokely there in the first place when she never really needed a mouthpiece?
He really hasn't spoken for her.
Very rarely has he.
He's just been, quote, talking around her, and then she just does her own thing.
Right.
Like, bro, I get it. Things were getting weird in NXT, but Diamond Mine's at least still going, and Diamond Mine's getting bigger.
By the way, I listen. I'm not taking Big Swole's side or nothing like that, or anything like that. But I will say, as a black man, kind of odd. You put the black manager with the black woman, and the black woman who actually didn't need it.
Well,
it's kind of weird.
Well, Jesse, black man with a black woman, the 2 token black dudes are a tag team, who are now the tag team champions.
Right.
And
Ricky Starks can't get a push.
yeah, no. Powerhouse Hobbs is beating up another black guy to get the push.
I'm not saying he's a racist, but I am saying there's some question marks going on with Tony Khan and black people, man. That's all. I'm not saying he's. I'm just saying it's getting a little weird.
Jesse, stop me if you've heard this.
Okay.
Tony Schiavone was backstage.
Oh, stop. Just go ahead, stop. I've definitely heard this.
With Anna Jay, Angelo Parker, and Matt Menard of the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Here's the thing. So the Anna Jay character, I'm actually liking more and more. And here's what I mean. I know this is probably news to you. This is probably shock to you. But she is having the right fun with this.
I agree.
And
I
so,
agree. She seems to actually...
like, the
Yeah.
threatening to choke people out in the crowd almost popped me last week because
Right.
I thought that shit was because she's like I'll choke you out, and I'll choke you out, and then this week of course she actually choked out the help backstage, and like Taz I was crying laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is pretty good stuff. This is pretty good stuff.
Anyway, now it's time for... And
yes, I'm back on the Anna Jay bandwagon. You know what? If she wasn't in this company, I would actually have more hope for her.
Yeah. And now it's time to relive some of our golden years of wrestling, boys. Welcome to the match that clearly everyone was calling for because everybody remembers this great moment. It's time for the Tag Team Dumpster Match.
What?
Yeah, they had a tag team dumpster match.
The Gun Club decided to relive the days when their daddy and his former tag team partner shoved somebody off of the thing with a dumpster, except this couldn't even look like a dumpster they just pulled in from the thing. They had to decorate this dumpster.
They might have gotten hurt.
Might have.
So
The Ass Boys.
Pushed the dumpster. They weren't. No.
They're
no.
Leroy.
Yeah.
But here's the swerve. No pun intended. Here's the angle that Vince Russo is still writing.
He must
The
be.
Ass Boys, unlike their dad who pushed it,
Yeah.
they were in the dumpster.
and unfortunately, the way the dumpster fell
my
because they had to
God.
fix the dumpster 3 times before pushing it off.
Yeah.
The zip tie came loose.
Yeah.
And you can see one of their feet come out as the dumpster tips over and falls.
Yeah.
So one of them might actually legitimately be hurt.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't heard anything yet,
No, I have not.
but it
seen
wasn't good.
Anything on that yet.
It didn't look good at
Oh
all.
my
And, of course, the Acclaim, Max Caster took the shot at Vince. Didn't care. Whatever.
I know. It's like we're gonna retire you like Vince. Really? Shut the hell up.
And now it's time
Well,
for...
he's the same kid that went and took the photo where he's flipping off Vince McMahon's thing in Hollywood.
Yep.
Who cares?
And now it's time
I
for...
forgot.
He's back!
Oh.
The Wizard! Versus... ROH
No.
Pure
Is he
Champion.
the
Wheeler
Wizard
Yuta.
this
He was the Lionheart.
No.
He's a
No.
wizard now?
I'm on all of EliteWrestling.com, am I not?
Oh, and they called him the Wizard.
It specifically says in quotation marks, and I will show this to you,
The
the
Wizard.
Wizard, Chris Jericho.
Was
You
he-
know,
is he
with
gonna
their-
be, like,
with their political
Lionheart next week?
affiliations? I get a feeling this is the Ku Klux Klan wizard. That's what he is.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
The only thing I guess he's missing right now is the white-headed robe. Yeah, I think that's it.
He already had that in the very first video package.
That's
though,
right.
so-
He did.
But anyway,
Oh my god!
Yuta apparently used a move that Regal taught him, which is he just walked up and flicked Jericho's nose.
And then Jericho dropped because it was so dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jericho rolled. No. Jericho did what they all do in AEW. Get ready for the next spot. Get out of the ring.
No comment.
Oh my god!
Referee Aubrey actually did her job and ejected someone from ringside.
She was paying attention.
Yeah, no, people actually tagged me in this. What about the referee who went wide-eyed when Becky and Bianca shook hands? Let me make this very clear. The Bucktooth Beaver at least cut away from that. It was a still photo you used.
Right.
Aubrey was in the shot.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
That, like I said, that whole meme of her talking about, my job is to stay out the way. and then her constantly overselling her reactions as a
By the way,
referee.
you want to know who else is? By the way, did you guys hear about this with referee Aubrey? Did you hear about what's happening between referee Aubrey, an alias a la Kevin Durant on Twitter, and the fact that there is someone who is reporting AEW botches and the code, their whole URL type thing that they have, their internet. It was traced back to the AEW offices.
Wow.
There was a sign in the crowd the other week that said this person, it was something, I think Smith or Garcia, is All Elite. It was the fake name that reportedly Aubrey's using on her off time to report AEW botches for using their clips.
Wow.
This company is a mess.
It is. It starts from the top and it's trickling down like cocaine dust everywhere.
So
like fairy dust,
reportedly,
cocaine.
so I thought you two were aware of this, but that's why I never brought it up.
No.
But yes, I'm going to send you the Jim Cornette video of it because they were on it. Apparently,
is it up on YouTube?
Yes, it is.
I'll check
anyway,
it out. Anyway,
apparently, Aubrey's off time, she's working for the company office, and all reports are pointing to she's using an alias, a burner account, to report AEW botches for copyright infringements for using the bad footage of the botches.
Well, you know what?
Weren't we just having this conversation, Jesse, about cease and desist?
This is incredible shit right here.
And you didn't know about that.
I had no idea.
So they're getting mad at people for taking clips of their show or just their own personal phone.
No. What's happening is AEW Botches is a channel that shows the botches that happen on AEW. But it's negative towards AEW, so apparently the reports are that Aubrey is using a burner account to report them to the Twitter offices, and the code, the mailing address of that Twitter account basically went back to the offices in Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
Because they couldn't even hide their footprint on social media.
Why don't they just legally do it instead of like this?
Because they're the company that lets everybody do whatever they want.
Well,
because that's how they built their entire reputation.
Wow, didn't they?
And remember, and by the way, I'm glossing over the real reason they're doing it because they're not Vince.
Okay.
I was gonna say
Vince is at least honest when he did that.
Well, you know what? When you look back at how Howard Stern, how was Howard Stern so popular? Because everybody that liked him listened to him. But then everybody that hated him listened to him because they wanted to hear him screw up so they could go after him. Let it go. You're getting more hits for your show. Let it go. This makes him even more dumb.
It's literally
oh my lord.
It's literally free advertising for your show.
It is.
And you're asking them to take it down.
Let it go, Christ.
Oddly enough, this was broken by Ringside News.
Okay,
that's a damn shame.
I could have Clara come in here and say
that is a damn shame.
They're idiots. Oh my lord. Thank God I don't have to watch that shit.
So
I have you guys do it for me.
So apparently, I don't know if the name.
That's the most shameful shit I've ever heard in pro wrestling.
And then no!
Oh, hold on.
And then Jericho's mad.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
Just shut up.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
So the sign in the crowd was Don Stevens is All Elite. That's the name because multiple Don Stevens reports were sent to the DMCA agent that they were using clips from AEW. It was a guy's name that she was using.
Wow. You know,
to be fair, have you seen her during matches? I mean,
I know it's painful.
You know.
So anyway, yeah.
She kind of looks like a Don Stevens.
So we're gonna move off.
Okay.
So yeah, Dynamite. We all know how it ended.
To be fair,
lost.
they took me off the air too. So
By the way, you want to know what's kind of funny? So it was Jericho versus Wheeler Yuta. The winner got a shot
right.
at Moxley this Wednesday. Jesse will not be there, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, not.
Car troubles.
Car troubles, financial issues.
Yep.
So I had to
But anyway,
cancel my plans.
You want to know what's funny? They'd already announced Jericho versus Moxley Quake at the Lake
Yes, they
before
did.
the match against Yuta.
Yes, they did.
They already confirmed that this was going to happen.
I know. I saw it like a week ago.
They confirmed it damn near at the media scrum.
No, yeah. It would. Yeah. Why?
So I do know some friends who are going, some fellow podcasters.
Okay.
So to Jaron, who does
Is Cal heading down?
indie talk with Jaron and Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta get
Um,
those guys on the show.
And I hope to get them on the show soon. And by the way, people feel free to go check them out.
Oh yeah, no. 100%.
Friends of the Squared Circle, our great friend Cal
Yep.
Andrews.
He's got merch coming out too.
Yes,
by the
he
way.
does. Yes, he does.
You
And we're
know?
going to be happy to promote
Yep.
it soon.
Yep. He's got some hats.
Yeah.
I am
He wants us to
hoping.
get us on sometime,
Oh, and to
too,
our
so-
good buddy Matthew Hewen,
Oh yeah,
um,
he's always.
who is also
he said he's
now
going to be down there.
a full employee of MAW. So congrats to him.
Yep. No,
Oh, he did that. Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah.
What is he doing for him?
Ring stuff and light stuff and stuff like that.
Oh,
So he's
awesome. So
a
happy.
full-time
actually-
employee.
That's awesome
And
as
by the
hell.
way, one of the owners, Dave, what a wonderful guy. We've had him on the show. He actually messaged me the other day out of the blue, like, haven't seen you. I'm like, I've had a lot of non-wrestling things to do.
Right.
I'm glad.
Thank you for your concern, Dave. I love you, sir. I hope the family's good. New baby's on the way.
Right.
But like, I've had a lot of non-wrestling entertainment.
To our
stuff I've had to
MAW
do.
family, we will be back.
We will
promise.
be back. We
I did.
promise,
I
guys.
just they just posted a picture of Dave and his lovely wife, and she's looking so good. Can't wait for
Man.
that new baby to come out. She's looking
I'm happy for
beautiful.
him.
Yep.
Happy
Beautiful
for him.
family, beautiful
Congrats
wife.
to him and the
That's
wife.
awesome.
But now, Jesse, it's time to get to another one of our topics we talked about last week.
You know,
Vince is gone. Why are we still hating? Let's just jump right into it.
I'll say why we're still hating, because Chris Jericho's a fucking idiot.
Not us. Not us. I'm talking to the AEW fans. Why are we still hating on WWE?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Vince is gone, Jesse.
Oh,
We're not
sorry.
talking about Jericho. We're talking about the
Fucking
AEW,
idiot.
the AEW fanboys.
So
We love
Jesse,
you.
So, Jesse, what is the one thing that they've said for the last 3 years on the internet? The old man needs to go. He's gone.
So
Why can't we all just love wrestling now? Folks, I explained to you why I hate AEW because they literally put on shit.
Right.
But we've had some of the best wrestling of the last 10 years on the last 3 televised WWE shows, including their pay-per-view, and you're still hating on them. Why is that? Jesse? Leroy?
There's no good argument anymore.
No. But I was saying from the day that, Jesse, you weren't here, Leroy, you were, I said from day one, it's all Vince hate. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with the product.
They're wrestling Karens that
Yeah, and that's a good way of looking at it.
they need more love from their parents, or they should have get their ass beat more by their parents. They want everything self gratification. They want instant, and if they're still hating WWE, even though Vince is gone, they got to still keep going. At least they're
Well, not only that, but what
at
I
least
find,
they're being consistent. I
that's
give them
true.
that. That's it.
true. But what's really sad is, Jesse, we on this show for the last 2-3 weeks, ever since Vince announced his retirement,
Right.
we have said, some of us have Survivor Series, some of us have the Rumble, but that's when
Right.
the whole Vince stuff will be gone and Triple H is visit. But we're at least giving Triple H a grace period.
Right.
Nope,
Yeah.
the internet can't do that. Why isn't it the black and gold? I said last week the black
I
and
want
gold
to.
brand's
I
not
want
coming
to.
back
I
right
want
away.
to first bounce a quote of mine, and I'm going to relate this to sports to you,
Okay.
Leroy. You see, you can give them credit for consistency,
Yeah.
but then I look at the Anaheim Angels in baseball, and I go, you consistently have championship talent, but you're consistently shit.
Statistically, the greatest baseball player of all time, I'm not joking,
Yeah.
is playing left field for them.
Right.
And they can't do shit.
And the greatest unicorn to ever play currently is
He's
currently
better.
playing for
He's
them.
actually better than Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
He is. He statistically, he's better than
Yes.
Babe Ruth.
And they're shit. So here's the thing.
20-some games below 500.
We can give credit. I'm a Jet fan. I know about consistent shit. It sucks. It smells.
I'm a
You try to go to New York. You're like, man, I can't wait to get a pizza, a couple beers, and then you walk into the stadium. and you're like, there it goes, the shit.
I know.
It's bad.
I'm a Vikings fan. I understand.
It's you see, yeah. So you walk in and you go, man, this year championship, and then you watch and you go, we're gonna be done in the first round. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can give them credit for consistency,
That's all I give him credit for.
but at some point you got to do better.
Oh,
See, the Vince hate isn't even, to me, I don't even think it's really about Vince, because Vince has been an asshole for over 40 years.
See, here's the thing. Before you go on, if I may, again, it was a meme, but every wrestling fan who's actually a wrestling fan got it. Oh my God, aren't you shocked by this Vince news? Anyone who watched in the 90s and early 2000s, no. No, I'm not.
I've been watching it for
One of your favorite
longer.
memes that
Gotta
all
say, yeah.
one of your favorite
I'm like,
memes that you
wow.
guys do, which is like, okay, you put up the 4 quotes and it's Vince getting more and more excited. Do you know what that was from?
That was from
That was from Stacy
Keibler.
Keibler basically
Strip dance, yeah.
teasing on national
on
television.
national television.
And you know what? I understand he fell off. I would probably fall over in my chair too.
Folks,
Oh my lord.
folks, it's like the Elon Musk argument that I keep trying to bring up. Every billionaire's the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Vince McMahon got cocky and used company funds because he didn't want to spend his own money, just like every billionaire ever doesn't want to spend their own money.
Right.
Trump spent American money to keep his golf course going.
Trump spent
And a pair of
people's money
hookers.
on all the
Trump
shit.
buried his first wife on his golf course because now it's considered a cemetery and he gets a tax break.
He's a fucking. He's.
Are
a,
you serious?
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Oh my-
That dude's a piece of shit.
He
But-
buried Ivanka Trump, God rest her soul,
Yeah.
because she had to live with that guy for any amount of time.
Right.
She is buried on the first hole of his golf course in New Jersey. Why? Because in New Jersey, at least, you don't tax cemeteries.
Yep.
We're gonna bury his ass there. Fuck yeah, let's bury his ass right next to that bitch.
No. He's not deserving of actually being buried into the
No,
earth.
he's deserving of basically getting thrown in a back alley, and maybe a dog looks at it. And says,
We feed him to the worms, as we
Yes.
like to say.
Yes.
There we go.
And by the way, we are not advocating that someone do this, but if we have the option, that's the one we're taking.
We are not advocating violence, of course
No,
not.
not even towards a former president.
No, I'd watch.
But if you want to
God, that's horrible.
animate
Yep.
it somehow and we all get enjoyment, that works too.
There's no issue.
So
I would watch and pray for him. That's
let
what
me
I
be
would
clear
do.
about the Vince hate.
Yeah,
Like I said, number one,
because
he's.
you were there for a while.
Well, yeah.
You were there in the late 2010s.
Well,
Early.
early 90s or late 90s, early 2000s.
Yep.
Because, like I said, I stepped away from the product right before.
Their
2010.
worst years were probably 2011 to 2014. I'll
It
agree
just-
with that.
Yeah,
it was
they were
fucking
bad.
unbearable for a while there.
Yep.
Especially with John Cena, it was just unbearable.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Not really John's fault.
it's partially his fault. He's admitted to it. But
It's his fault that he didn't use his power to say no.
He should have been like, okay, some guy should be put over here. Like, it's actually good to have a cycle.
Well,
He's learned.
At least
I should have
he
lost
did.
the Nexus.
At least
Right.
he came out and he did say that
He did admit to it. But
Yeah.
first of all, Vince has been a ravaged dick for years. We've always known this. Number two,
Number two, he hasn't been married to Linda for probably a decade.
here's the unpopular.
He said on McAfee's podcast, "My then wife Linda." What did you people not take from that?
Let me be clear.
I don't think they feel you got a divorce. It's cheaper to stay married.
Well,
than
yeah,
get a
that's the
divorce.
old school way of doing it.
They're also okay. Both of my grandparents are doing it. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just live apart.
I love them. They'll probably never hear this, but I
Right.
love them. But that's what they're doing.
Right.
But also, remember, as Jesse pointed out, it works for their political sides as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Also,
Divorce is bad if you're a Republican.
this is the unpopular part for people.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. See, but when you take the money,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't talk. You signed the NDA, you took the money. It's I'm not saying he's not in the wrong for doing what he did,
Right.
using his power
Yeah.
and paying you off. But I am saying you took the money.
Yep.
And I hate to say it, I'm from the East Coast. It's just like, well, you did take it. So, I mean, you could talk
Everybody has
about-
a price.
right.
It wasn't just a tagline.
So maybe these NDAs finally expired, or maybe they're just more willing to talk about it now that the company realized he used company money.
Yeah.
Well, they took it, and then they took it again, and it was not as good as they thought.
And really, it was one who
Are we talking about the NDAs or are we talking about something else?
Right.
The first one was about something else. The second
It
one was
was
the
it
NBA.
was
All right.
it was two, because dear God, I mean, you had to have sex with John Laurinaitis. That's just terrible. Thought of it is. You guys sweaties talking about people power.
After Vince, that's a big letdown.
I'm gonna kiss Vince's ass after this.
And he's done 2 minutes, and he can cuddle for 5.
Kevin is videotaping it, so you can't see any of the action. Like it's all bad.
We can't see the reaction because the cuts keep happening.
But
Not
Bruce
showing
is,
face
but
shots.
Bruce is still there cheering him on.
Because this is an attraction.
Because Vince's ass is an attraction, and we must kiss that ass.
I'm sad to say I've seen that ass a few too many more times.
I think we all have
We
seen
all have
Vince's
seen
ass
that
way
ass
too
way
much.
too many times.
There was the meme that if you've seen this man in the late '90s and early 2000s, you've seen this man's ass more than your own.
That's probably pretty close.
So here's the thing.
Yeah, I don't have a mirror for seeing my own ass.
So there's that. There's the NDA stuff, and then there's just the fact that some people can't get over the fact you like pro wrestling because of WWF. You just do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, because here's the thing.
Triple H's comments, we'll get to it in a second. That was the one thing that I forgot to write down. But here's the thing. That was more kayfabe than I think people understand.
Of course, he's going to give you revisionist history. Now, to be fair to him, if not for Vince, he was going nowhere in WCW. So because of Vince and then the friendship with Shawn and Scott and Kevin, he was able to show what he could do. Now, by the way, he was the one who was punished the longest because of the curtain call.
Yep.
But he was still able to reshine and all that. So it's not just that he married into the family. He actually does have love for Vince because he was able to reshine. Yeah. And a lot of love for JR, who did fight for him back then.
Yes.
So, of course, you were going to get revisionist history.
Yeah.
But most people are just mad because you got into pro wrestling because of Vince. You did. And now you hate the fact that, well, one, there was the late 2000s into the early 2010s.
Yeah.
Understandable.
He had a lull. In 50 years, he had 15 bad ones.
There's just...
There was a lull in between.
There was some terrible shit in there.
But you want to talk about... And you know what? I'll just say it. You want to talk about the revisionist history that Hunter gave. Are we not acknowledging that, like I said, out of 50 years, he had 15 bad ones? So we're just going to talk about the revisionist history again to the people that have this argument. It's the same argument. So Michael Jordan only played 6 years in the NBA. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is be fair. The man played 17 years in the NBA.
Right.
And the only argument that everyone falls back on is 6 for 6. So what did he do the other 12 to 15 to 13 years he was in the NBA?
He lost.
He didn't just lose. He couldn't get out of the first round.
Right. He was a loser.
And by the way, we are one bad call in that NBA Eastern Conference Final from the Bulls getting back and probably winning against the Rockets.
Oh, yeah.
And then, what about the argument that, the Bulls didn't really need him because they were, a stacked team, but that's nor here nor there.
I think they won 50-plus games the couple years without him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here's the thing. It's a weird, almost like a dad hate of Vince.
Yeah.
Because,
which is weird because Vince had hate for his own father.
It probably had
weird
some of his kids resenting him for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So it's, I will say this, I don't even care about it. Between the Acclaim taking their shots and some of the younger promoters
it's funny. The
taking
Acclaim's
theirs.
the Acclaim's. I'll send you, like Vince in retirement. bro, you're still making money off of his name, so shut up.
It's like I said, it's a really weird thing, but I'm just somebody who just accepts. There's just gonna always be that crowd. They're gonna do it to Triple H too. He's gonna bring WWE to a great new place the next 20 years, and then maybe he walks away because at that point he'll be like close to his 70s, which is crazy to think about.
He's not gonna work as long as Vince.
Right.
It's not happening.
I know.
And
I don't
like
think so.
he's gonna walk away, and there's gonna be a lot of revisionist hate for him.
Yep.
It's gonna happen. But,
Even though you all watched NXT the first
Right.
time around, you
Right.
did.
And loved it.
Yeah. So that happened. So Leroy, I'm gonna throw it over to you before we go on to another topic. What exact? Okay, so you watched the golden years of Vince.
Oh, yes.
You watched the years when they were larger than life. They were, and I hate to use this term, but I think you'll admit, because you were younger at that point, you'll admit this was real. They were cartoon characters. They were comic book superheroes.
Well, yeah, and I guess it didn't help they had a cartoon going on too. But
Right, yeah.
yeah. I mean, when I was younger, looking up to them, watching them on during the week, and then Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
yes, they were like my heroes.
So once again, you're the guy who's not going to live in revisionist history. That you're not still a fan at 45,000 years old without Vince McMahon.
no, and
He's still the reason you watch.
and see, this is what people is like. He's the reason a lot of people watch. Okay, I watched before Vince. I watched AWA, so I became a fan.
Well, you were watching when his dad was in charge because what? Because okay,
Well,
so,
we didn't get. It was more Vern Gagne with AWA
Right,
here.
right, no, right,
I
no.
didn't get the stuff from New York.
right, no, because when Vince Sr. was in charge, you weren't getting their weekly show because you weren't in the East Coast or the
No.
Northeast.
So
But-
I wasn't in that demographic.
Yeah, but when
in
Vince
that
Jr.
period.
took over and went national, that's when you started to see more of it.
Oh yeah, I saw Iron Sheik. I saw Andre the Giant. I saw Mean Gene because he was here. I saw Hogan before they all went.
Right.
So I became a fan then, and then
Because
even
then,
more for what
because
they did.
then the two biggest places to go were AWA and NWA.
Yeah.
And then obviously WWF was a big thing up northeast.
Yeah.
But they were their own thing. They were a territory. So
Yeah.
you guys I mean, the thing is that your version of wrestling, Vern's version of wrestling, that's pretty much been gone for a while because Vince didn't want that style of wrestling
Yeah.
really.
It didn't go too much off of that. He added to it and he changed it.
Yeah.
But he changed it so as a kid, as I'm looking at it,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it going, oh my God, this is awesome. And yeah, they were larger than life.
Yeah.
They were there, and that was meant.
Because we
for-
joke
that
sometimes,
was meant for us
yeah.
to
Because
have,
we
you
joke
know?
sometimes about how crazy the promos sounded, but Randy Savage, you watched him and you were just glued to the screen the
Oh,
entire
because
time.
God knows what he was gonna say.
Yeah.
But just what, and then him, and then Hogan's energy when he came out,
And then-
it was like, bruh, you know, and the
And the
Ultimate
interesting part-
Warrior.
well, and the thing about it is that in the wrestling circles,
Yeah.
most of these guys couldn't actually wrestle, but you didn't notice because Vince had created this larger than life, production.
Oh yeah.
But well, okay. First of all, Randy Savage could wrestle anyone and anything. Randy Savage could wrestle.
Yes, he could.
Nobody questions that.
There's a few that came in there. Yeah, they could wrestle, but yeah, I mean, Hogan did not have the biggest
Warrior couldn't
wrestling.
wrestle.
Warrior didn't have the biggest, but yeah, there was a few in
Well,
between.
the Warrior
I mean,
was only out there for like what 5-10 minutes at the most.
well, yeah, he burned himself out.
yeah, no,
but
his matches did not last. very
no,
long.
but bringing in, like Ted DiBiase, yeah, he could wrestle.
yeah,
You bring the Rockers there with Shawn Michaels and Marty, they could wrestle.
Roddy
I mean,
Piper had some
Roddy
time
Piper
there, yeah.
had some. The Road Warriors when they brought him in, they were LOD when they
Right.
could. I mean, they brought people in that could wrestle.
Well, but
Iron
well,
Sheik could wrestle.
I think what people don't get, he didn't break the territories. He did the business decision, which was, okay, Jesse had to step out for a second, but Jesse's team are the Yankees.
yeah.
Are we not gonna act like the Yankees won 27 World Series by paying for them?
Oh yeah, they went and find somebody like and they bought him.
The Twins only have 2 World Series,
Yes.
but we're the team known for having the farm system. We normally bring up a kid; he's
Yep.
usually pretty good. He'll go sign with the Yankees in 4 years. But anyway, but the Yankees, when they have a problem, they gut their farm system. They buy somebody.
Yeah.
The Yankees needed a first baseman, Mark Teixeira. They
There
got
you
Mark
go.
Teixeira to go over there. The Yankees needed, this. They needed. The Yankees have bought World Series. Vince is the Yankees of professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, definitely. He saw.
Why not get the biggest? Because here's the thing. Like you said, you brought up arguably 3-4 names, but here's the deal. They were here once in a while. The consistent people of the AWA that you watched weekly, they weren't as big as Andre, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
They weren't Hogan. Well, like I said, it was the early Hogan, but
Yeah.
you watched all these great stars, but they came in the territory, they were there for a while, then they left, and then you had to watch the consistent guys whose names you probably can't remember half of them.
No.
Nothing against the guys.
My age. I mean, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah, but Vince is sitting there saying, why not just go get the best guy from every territory and have them in one place?
And that's what he did. I mean, one example, you look in Junkyard Dog. He was in the Deep South.
Yeah.
I think Vince looked at him and was like, wow, his interaction, and he was doing that then. He did the same thing.
And then, of course,
he was so into the crowd and the kids. That was the best thing for Vince to do.
And then, of course, you realize Junkyard Dog was doing that in the Deep South. Bring them up to the Northeast, much less of a racial issue in the Northeast than there was in the South. I'm not saying Northeast didn't have their problems, but we all know the Deep South
everywhere.
still has their
Yes.
problems. But that was just it. Why not just get all the best talent in one place? That was Vince's idea. Now, Vince Sr. didn't like it because he always was one of those promoters who wanted the territory system to go. And then, of course, we're not going to talk about it again on the show, but the territories kind of burnt themselves out more so than Vince doing what he did. And then Vince just bought what was left.
Honestly, it just, things evolve. That's what happened.
And it's really funny because in the world of wrestling, Vince is up for A, greatest promoter of all time, B, the guy who killed the wrestling business. But Vince realized you couldn't keep pulling the wool over people's eyes. You had to go to the commissioner and say, hey, pal, it's all fake. You had to get the local police on your side to let the action go because Vince was trying to create a scripted television show, basically. That's what he was trying to do. So just because he wasn't the first, well, he was the first, but just because he wasn't the last guy or whatever to go to the commissioner, just because he was the first guy to go to the local athletic commission and tell them, hey, look, there's going to be some blood because this is the part of the show it's going to happen. So they got more of a chance to do things. Yeah. Because they told them, well, it's not really happening type of deal. People get mad at him for that more in the wrestling circle, but the truth is the fans never cared.
No.
Because the fans were still watching the damn thing.
Yeah, no, I don't care about the blood either.
I know you're raising your kids in a much different era than when you were growing up, but my question to you is this, because I think I brought this up last week. To a point, do you think parents always kind of knew it was a work?
Yeah.
In a way?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the older I got, when I was young, when I was my kid's age, I think, oh my God, these things is real. Well, then I got older and I'm watching this, and then I found out more about it. I'm like, oh no.
So what you're saying is Vince didn't necessarily remove the veil, age did.
For me, age did.
The times are going on around you.
Because
the truth is this: nobody has a private life anymore. It doesn't exist.
Not anymore.
You can't. But that's the way the world went. If you want to have a private life, sadly, you literally have to live in the middle of bumshark nowhere and live off the grid. You have to.
Yeah, now you do.
You can keep your life private in a lot of ways. Like I always say, Allison and I are together all the time. There's very few photos of us together, not because there's issues in our relationship. That's just not our thing, is to take photos every time.
Oh, yeah.
That's just not our thing. But the thing is, and I'm not saying people that post too many photos have a problem. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that you figure things out as you get older. You just kind of do. You kind of notice things a little more. You're a little more. Your attention span slows down.
Yeah.
So in a way, you kind of got to the conclusion that you're at now, not because of what Vince was doing behind the scenes, but just kind of the way the world was around you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I figured it out myself, and everything. Watching, I'm like, oh yeah, it doesn't. What they can do. I mean, just seeing everything. I'm like, no, that can't be real because one, they'll put their hands up to help block,
Yeah.
the
Chair,
chair
yeah.
shot, and then the tables, well, they're meant to break,
Yeah.
and stuff, and the kendo stick, well, that does hurt,
Yeah.
but it breaks down, so it's not a constant
And
weapon.
and
so.
sadly, Hulk Hogan's pretty famous for giving some pretty bad chair shots. If you go back and look at some of his chair shots,
Yes,
They
there were
were-
some pretty bad ones back
they
in
were-
the day, but oh well.
they were some pretty worked shots. If you know
Oh,
what I'm saying.
Definitely.
Okay, so as we move on here, Sasha and Naomi,
Yep, they were
Trinity
at,
and Mercedes. Surprisingly, Leroy, somebody paid the $30,000.
So they
In
whoever
Chicago.
put a picture up. Well, of course, in Chicago, there was quite a bit of line
Yeah,
for them, and it was.
I think it was like $130 for a ticket with both.
Ooh, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. But there was a long line, and they had some social distancing for
Yeah.
pictures with them, which
Yeah.
I thought was interesting. Probably
well,
was
well.
their
I think part of it
their
was that,
business.
and the other part of it was, especially being women. Sadly, there are some
oh yeah,
not so great fans out there
yes,
who need to understand that they're still a performer. Don't be creepy.
yes.
It's basically all it
oh,
is.
God.
Please don't be creepy. Like,
Yeah.
like if you're gonna take a photo with a female wrestler and they want to do a side hug, that's fine. Don't do the thing where you're holding them from behind when you're clearly not in a relationship with them. Don't do just calm down with the craziness, okay?
Yeah. Ask them nicely. Hey, how do you want to? We just picture side by side or whatever.
Yeah,
ask them what they want.
And the other thing is that look, I get it, you're paying the money, but they're still people at the end of the day. They're not cattle.
yes.
Okay, and yes, I understand we might have some vegan and or vegetarian listeners that might not like this, but cattle are cattle. I'm sorry they are. You move them with a prod. That's what you do.
Yeah, or
Quick Trip still
or a big stick.
yeah. Quick Trip also denied my request to get a cattle prod for the college kids again. Sorry, they
God
did.
damn.
I know.
Yeah.
Something about human rights. I don't know.
Human. Oh, they're
but
not,
anyway,
they're college students. They're not human.
Folks, Jesse has returned to the booth.
I'm black. I know nothing about human rights.
That's
Okay?
fair. Sorry, folks, but
It's just honesty.
yeah.
Oh,
but
okay,
anyway,
right.
no. So yes, there was some social distancing, but I'm sure after the issues that they've both probably been through, Trinity and Mercedes both probably requested those photos be taken at a distance.
And you know what?
And that's fine.
I thought they in the pictures they both are looking good.
And they look genuine. That's the
Oh,
other
yeah.
thing. They both looked very genuine to do those photos. It didn't look like Sasha was arrogant to be there. It genuinely looked like. And Jesse, where were they again?
CEC2, which is in Chicago,
Okay.
Yeah,
which I
was-
believe
was
is a
like-
Chicago Comic Con.
Okay.
Was it, yeah, Chicago
Yeah.
Comic.
So,
So basically, folks.
I loved her hair. So,
No, she
her hair,
she looked good.
Mercedes,
So,
her.
But let me be clear,
yeah.
Yes.
because I saw the photo, and I saw the photo through someone who told the price of how much the photo
It
cost.
was 130, wasn't it?
The fuck out of here! And I still got to stand 6 feet from you? Nah, bruh. Not me. Now, Aaron of the PWL was right
Yeah.
that people would pay to still see Sasha and Naomi, and a photo,
Yeah.
even with them not being
Yeah,
in WWE. And,
And Jesse's,
that
by
was
the way,
a
folks,
really
like
heartwarming
Leroy and I
moment.
talked about, Jesse's not advocating for those weird, awkward.
No.
But
No.
a side hug with.
And that's the reason why that I would spend $130. It's because my
Sure.
little girl.
No,
Would she
the
wanna-
kids,
oh,
the
yeah,
kids,
she
they
would
probably
wanna-
let get close because
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
kids, and I get like, and I'm not saying like, I'm gonna get to no. It's just like I paid $130, and I get the pandemic and all that,
Yeah.
but I still got to stand damn near 10 feet away. Bro, your security can do that when you're walking down the street, and I could take that selfie for free.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm happy people went out.
Yep.
I'm happy people saw them.
And by the way,
it's
has
been
announced
confirmed that they are
officially.
probably
WWE
back.
now officially has
Right.
implemented a no touching policy. Although they're probably more pandemic-y about it than anything else. But it's been confirmed by a lot of now credible sources. They will be back at some point.
Yes.
Which is interesting. Moving on to our next topic, they announced a tournament. Are they in the tournament? Do they come out of the finals of the tournament? Are they involved in the women's tag title tournament?
Yes.
But,
In-
here's the fun part.
In what capacity?
When are they bringing them out? Are they going to bring them out Monday when they first start it?
Probably.
You think it's that early?
It would be
Yeah.
huge.
Well, you and I were talking earlier, Jesse. Triple H has been reportedly aggressive in a positive way
Yes.
towards all talent about have fun, enjoy it. It's a short-term thing anyway because you can't do this forever anymore.
Right.
Plus, they're making more money than Triple H was back in the day.
Right.
But yeah, no. It's just Triple H. I said right now he has a quick business plan. Pop early to get the numbers back up, especially with the TV deal.
Oh, yeah.
Renegotiations
Right.
coming. Then once you have that audience that realizes that their people are back, then you can sort of slow it down, not fall into the ECW trap, which was
Sure.
every week they had to have a special thing. Paul even admitted later on that was a bad idea.
Here's the thing. I think what you'll see in WWE is it'll be a cycle.
Yeah.
You'll see people shuffled in and out,
Yep.
which is what we talked about when the roster used to be inflated before.
Yeah.
Like when you have that much talent, you can actually give talent a rest because you can shuffle in and out.
There we go,
There's
yeah.
going to be some main event people. They're
Yeah.
gonna be
Well,
mainstays.
if there's one thing that is going to continue in wrestling, if you want main event money, you got to work a main event schedule.
Right,
Sorry, that's just how that works.
Right. And so yeah, you're going to see a lot of shuffling. Never get nervous when you don't see. Like right now, Lacey Evans was one that wasn't seen, and people are like, "Well, she was more of a Vince McMahon thing," but that's not true.
No.
She was a Triple H project before she ever even started on NXT.
Yes.
So
And
Triple-
whatever's going on right now, it's just kind of like bleh.
Well, let's
It
be fair.
wasn't good.
Here's what people don't want to admit to. Okay, one of Vince's last things is they did the whole, all the video segments with her and her inspirational real life story.
No. It was one segment that was played 14 different times.
It was, but it
I'm
was
sorry.
true.
After a while, she told the same story.
It was
Yeah.
it was different. I disagree with him, but
It was
in
a little
sense, he's
different, but it
right.
was. But she went over the
Um,
same stuff again and again.
A bit of hyperbole, of course, from this side of the damn table again.
Whatever.
But it started to get stale. They finally brought her back. And at first they tried to bring her back as a heel. And they're like, oh, no, we'll bring her back as a babyface.
And she got over.
And then they didn't want to know what fucking show they wanted to put her on. And then they were like, okay, it's been enough FaceTime. Let's go ahead, go heel now. What the fuck are we doing?
This was 2 weeks, by the way, folks. This
This is a matter of like 3 or 4 weeks. Like this is,
that's all.
it was like, what are you guys doing?
And
I
I'm,
think at that point, Johnny and Bruce both knew things were out the door, and they kind of just forgot certain things were happening.
And-
Because here's the deal, folks. Those two know a lot more, and they've known a lot more for a while.
yeah. And if they
This
don't
was
have
internal
her,
for long before Washington Post.
if they
got
don't
there.
have her on TV for a while, a month, I'm okay with that because hopefully
They're still paying her.
they're paying her,
Well, for
but
sure.
they can like everyone's like, oh, Kevin Owens, he's a Triple H guy. They don't have anything for him. They ain't got to figure it out yet. They'll bring him back.
Right.
Same with Lacey. They'll get things
Well, by the
figured
way,
out
folks.
and they'll
By
bring
the
her
way,
back.
folks. Kevin wasn't hating the Ezekiel stuff anyway because
Oh, he was
Kevin's
having so
Kevin.
much fun
He's
with that
done
one.
dumber shit in ROH.
He's done, man. He did he did dumber shit in
PWG.
Well, not even PWG. I've seen him do dumber shit in Texas.
Which might be why he doesn't like Texas.
Probably.
That's right, yeah.
Pro-
But I said we'll
he's got
see.
a bad history in Texas.
We'll see what they bring out for tag teams. If they bring maybe some up from NXT.
Now, here was the thing before we get into what happened in NXT, unless you guys already got into it.
No.
I couldn't listen when I was on excursion.
But
It's fine.
I actually thought, and we talked about it while you were gone, I actually thought they would actually just recombine the tag team titles because it's something
Yeah.
Triple H had told Vince, like, we don't have enough women tag teams on each thing to just do separate ones.
Yeah.
So why don't we just do a combine for the women's?
Yeah.
Because they always have enough male tag teams on both shows to kind of get away
yeah.
belts or separate belts, but they're not doing that, which I was a little surprised by that announcement because I was like, maybe they'll announce Casey and what's her face, we're going to have a tournament for their number one contender spot starting on Raw. And I was like, well, this is a good way now to also those more established NXT tag teams to now get a little bit of shine on national television.
And they just might too.
Leroy,
so.
get the results of 2.0, but go ahead and finish up there.
And so I actually thought you know what? They'll probably combine this thing, and they'll make this thing work.
Yeah.
So when they decided to just kind of do the actual like women's tag teams, the main roster ones, I'm like,
It's interesting
okay.
that you bring that up because NXT 2.0 came out. We started with this match.
Fatal 4-Way elimination.
It was actually really well done.
By the way, and I like Fatal 4-Ways most of the time. I always prefer when they're elimination.
Yes, always. This this was good. I think the report that I read about Triple H finally going back to some things, it looked like a heel turn because they didn't really have much going on, but that was as genuine a moment as the Triple H era is gonna get, with Katana and Carter finally winning those belts.
Right.
Because they really had been the most sympathetic women's tag team
Right.
that Triple H had for the longest time.
And I do like that it did come down to them and Toxic.
Oh,
to to get that kind of last match, the rubber match or whatever for them.
It was a typical Triple H style story.
It's good.
You had 4 teams. One's a former champ heel. The other 3 are, one's a sympathetic babyface, one's a throwaway, and one is a combination of 2 singles who are going to have some beef with each other when it's over, a la Diamond Mine.
Right.
But it's just one of those things where, like,
every week with those 2 ladies, I'm like, they're actually a team.
is it interesting though?
Well, yeah,
that
Ivy and Tatum.
Yeah.
I'm not
I was
sure.
like, they're actually a team.
Name one thing that's happened since Triple H fully took over where somebody didn't come out of it completely out at sea.
That's true.
The 2 ladies who were the second elimination, because I think Diamond Mine was first.
No,
Diamond was not.
Louis Valentina.
It was Valentini and
So-
Yusuf.
Yeah.
So the
They
tag
were
team
first
that went out
eliminated.
first, they're the tag team that right now no one cares about because they're still green as shit.
Yes, they are.
and they're slowly building
Yeah.
them up.
Then you get rid of the team that is the awkward singles competitors together,
Right.
and then you have the babyface ultimately overcome the heels in a great second half of the match. By the way,
wow.
Oh, yeah.
did a really
it was
good
wonderful.
job.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I was genuinely happy for Kaden and Katana.
I always am. Because those 2 ladies have been working their ass off in the NXT system.
Well,
for
they
a
finally
long
got a
while.
finisher that makes sense
Well, there's that.
for Katana.
Yeah.
Because, like, for the longest time when she was Casey Catanzaro, it was one of those scenarios where you're like, I can't tell if she's botching or if the move is just supposed to be too many fucking spins, but, like, pull it back. We get it was the whole American Ninja Warrior thing, but pull it back, make it a wrestling move.
I don't even know if it was a Ninja Warrior thing. I think it was because she was with Ricochet at the time. Maybe she tried to be like Ricochet.
Maybe a little bit.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right, so, but yeah, we're gonna run through those results because we got a bunch else to get to. But yeah, can we get to the because this was a good NXT
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it was
was.
mostly
I
good.
loved it.
and the ratings went up.
I did, yeah. All right, let's see
Curiosity.
Yes,
here.
Curiosity kills AEW's ratings.
There you go. Yeah, right after that, they had a good old backstage spot there with Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. I believe they're still the NXT Tag Team Champions.
NXT UK Tag
Yep.
Team Champions. Yep.
They had a little interaction with the Dyrad and Joe Gacy.
Weren't they
'cause
called the Schism at one point?
The Dyrad?
I think
they
before
gave them a couple
before they
different
called
names.
them the Dyad.
Yeah, Dyad.
They've had like 3 different names.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did one
Basically,
thing.
formerly known as the Grizzled Young Veterans.
but I just want to point something out. This was a night that was focused on the man, and I'll say it again. Joe Gacy just creeps the living fuck out of
Oh,
me
yeah.
because it's, oh god.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
You
but
agree with the motherfucker, but goddamn, he's just creepy.
it is
he's,
creepy.
he's uncomfortable.
All right, after that little thing right there,
Yep.
they had Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams in the ring with Carmelo giving out a NXT North American
The
Championship.
guy who everyone thinks is a
Chance.
Vince guy and was going to get buried by Triple H, everyone brings up Carmelo Hayes. Triple H can't look at Carmelo Hayes and not look at that guy and say this guy's a top talent.
Wait, how is? I wouldn't even understand how Carmelo Hayes would be more of a Vince guy.
No. Once again, you and I talked about it. The internet is overreacting. They're going too far left or right now with the Triple H era that they think that because Carmelo Hayes was so featured by Bruce and John that he's not going to be one of Triple... I'm like, Triple H put him against Cole.
Triple H is the one who brought him in. He's an indie guy.
Yeah.
No one's listening to you on our show enough.
Guys, please share us with your friends. Join us on Patreon.
There you go.
Yeah, he's a Triple H guy. Because he was an indie guy.
Yeah.
Who adopted his style
Right.
to what they want, and he did a very good job. And by the
Yeah.
way, if Vince were still around, he would have pushed this guy to the moon.
Yeah.
He stated it was his birthday. He was given an open challenge. And then first to come out was Gianni Vici came out. And he had to take his moment where he had to pose this, boom. And then here comes, fast as hell, Nathan Frazier.
I love Nathan
running
Frazier.
and jumps in the ring.
This was fucking brilliant.
I'm so
he
sad
gets-
that
and he
this
gets
is
the
how we
chance.
got Carmelo versus Nathan Frazier. I got they were trying to tell a story and we'll get a better match later.
Sure.
But Carmelo Hayes and Nathan Frazier one-on-one. Oh my
But before the
God.
match, I thought Nathan doing that to Vittoria was the funniest shit on the planet. So this week I've been able to watch live because I've been immobile. And so I'm watching it and I'm like, who just ran by Giovanni when they froze the picture? And I saw Nathan.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. You taking too long to pose, bruh. He said first man in the ring gets a title shot.
And he wasn't. Yeah, Vici's mad at he was
And
right.
apparently the commentary is now set in stone. It's going to be continually awkward gay comments by Wade Barrett. That's just going to keep
Yeah,
happening.
He's just going to keep doing
and,
that.
It's gonna-
he's just
it's
going to
gonna
keep
keep
going. But
yeah.
and
That's fine.
Yeah, no, it's good. But you know what's interesting? Vici has we didn't know what was going to become of him after he left Imperium.
Right.
But he's got a very good character. I like it.
Yeah,
I agree.
I do. I
And
do.
also, this week, also I've learned in the Triple H era, even Triple H is a fan of Chase U.
They're just great.
It's
There.
I can't wait to get my sweater. They're phenomenal.
we should
Yeah.
all get 3 sweaters and just wear those. That'd be the warmest shit in the world.
They're a bunch of virgin nerds, and I love them for it.
It's so good.
Except
Yeah.
Andre Chase, but the other two are nerds. But it's great. Then they were in the UK this week for NXT
They
UK.
legitimately sent them over to the UK just to take photos. It was the funniest shit in the world.
And they had the mob boss. I forget the name of the faction, but like she yells, "Chase you!" and he very funnily responds, "She wants me to chase her." I'm confused.
Well,
I was just like, "Damn, this is brilliant stuff."
I as we all agree, it was a hell of a match. Great
Yeah.
match.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes got the win because Vici helped behind the referee, deal with
Yep.
distraction, boom, and then he
Nathan
got the win,
Frazier,
so.
Nathan Frazier, if you ever hear this, kid, do me a favor. Just follow the process. You will be a star.
In this case, listen to Seth Rollins.
Yes.
It has
you
worked
go.
for Seth. It'll work for you.
Yes.
There you go. Next up on the show, we had a little video package for Solo there, but prepping for his main event match at the end of the night here. And then we had the face-to-face with Braun and JD McDonough for their Heat Wave. They said it.
NXT
the
Heat Wave, yeah.
The Heat Wave Summit. The interaction between the two.
Bad
Very
camera will fuck up a good moment. So
Okay,
the whole
yeah.
the whole point of this moment was the fact that Braun was gonna, after he bit his finger to sign it his
Yeah.
name in blood,
Yeah.
which I was already, when I noticed what he was gonna do, I'm like, yeah, but I gotta be honest, Bray did this way better.
Yeah.
When he literally signed his name, the Fiend's name, in Brian's blood.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. It
Oh, yeah.
freaked people in the crowd out. Like, holy shit. So, because it was supposed to come off like he's this creepy badass.
Yeah.
But then, of course, he took the headbutt or the shot to the face, and of course, he was supposed to bite into the blood capsule to make it look like maybe Braun broke some of his teeth.
Yeah.
The problem was, if you were watching as Braun came out and got in the ring, the camera lingered on JD too long, and you saw him put the capsule into his mouth. And so my whole thought was, well, at some point his mouth is going to bleed. Camera angles matter. Now, I didn't completely ruin the full segment,
No.
but I'm watching Braun Breaker, And I'm thinking about Triple H, and I'm thinking about the main roster now, and I go, he's gonna have to show a little more, because I think if Vince was still in charge, he would have got called up.
Yeah.
But Triple H is not going to call him up quite yet,
No.
and it's smart not to.
Agreed.
Because
Agreed.
right now he very much is a Vince guy, and you can still make a Vince guy work in today's pro wrestling world. But he's going to have to learn a little bit more.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, then they...
It's going to be a good match between these two, by the way.
Oh, it'd be an awesome match.
Also, JD, just cut the fucking hair. Like, he looks so stupid to me. Because he was the Irish Ace.
Yeah.
That was trained by Finn Balor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now he looks like a model I would beat up if I saw on the street.
We are looking forward to the Heat Wave, but
It's in
during,
a
but
couple weeks, right?
couple weeks, I think. Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
But during that Heat Wave, it's still not as hot as Haitian Heat hot sauce,
Oh,
ladies and
that's
gentlemen.
true.
That's right. Jesse's favorite
Well done.
favorite condiment that he uses on everything.
Everything.
Go ahead, Jesse.
So there are 6 hot sauces and 2 barbecue sauces. Actually, if you are in the Duluth, Minnesota Superior area, and very soon in the Twin Cities, Minnesota area, you will actually be able to find them at local farmer markets and organic markets. But
and at current restaurants up here in the Duluth
That's
Superior,
correct.
too.
But for now, if you are not in those areas, remember, go to facebook.com/Haitian Heat. Everything for this product is not only organically grown, but organically made. So yes, the process takes more time than your normal stuff you would buy at a supermarket, but they will always email you to update you on the process and when you are getting your stuff. And also remember, this is about the flavor. There are hotter heats in the heat itself, but it is about the flavor. You can use it to tenderize. You can use it to actually flavor and saute either your meat or your greens or your rices, and it'll all work the same. Also, hopefully we will have Al Sands back on the show. I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to hearing some more boxing.
Yeah.
That show is actually getting a lot more views because people actually like us talking boxing with them.
Yeah.
But remember, facebook.com/Haitian Heat. We do put that shit on everything.
All right. So go ahead, Leroy.
Well, they had another backstage segment with the Creed and Diamond Mine. Where they're going with that, if they're going to split up this stable and everything, I mean, it's a good possibility. It's going.
Or they just break Roderick away from it.
Yeah.
Something like
There's
that.
a good chance that's where
Something
this
tells
going.
me that Roderick is no longer unhappy because he's the last remaining UE guy,
right.
and Triple H knows how good Roddy can be.
And Triple H is now fully in charge, so
And-
that'll help his process.
And there might be a possibility that he's going to come up on
the
the main
Undisputed
roster,
Elite's
too.
like, shit, we left Roddy.
Yeah.
Damn it.
He's doing good.
Poor, you know, literally the moment Vince retired, it switched from poor Roddy to poor Undisputed Elite.
Like I said, why didn't Adam and those guys just sign 3-year deals?
5-year deals,
I
baby.
don't know.
Because at least with 3-year deals, you'd have been like, God, I'm getting the fuck out of here in 2 years. Triple H is in charge. I'm totally going back.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we'll have to wait here to see how
Yeah.
that folds out here. But next up, we had a non-title match with Mandy Rose and
Mackenzie
Sari.
gets just abused backstage by Mandy Rose. It's a little unfair. Mackenzie just keeps having
She
bad.
gets that a lot
Mackenzie's
for
just
Mandy.
trying to do her job, and everyone backstage, from Robert Stone to Mandy Rose, they just shit on Mackenzie, and she just can't catch a break. She's a good backstage reporter too.
She is. She's wonderful. I love her.
But anyway, back to the match.
Mandy.
She needs more of the Gene, mean Gene Okerlund spirit.
There we go.
Talk
Yeah,
back to
definitely.
him every now and then.
Yeah.
Good
Don't
back
be
and
Michael
forth
Cole.
match there. Mandy Rose did pick up the win, and
Versus.
Sari.
Saray.
And she was
Good
good.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hated the ending.
Yeah,
You
no,
didn't?
I agree.
Oh yeah, the little ending on that. But hey,
We have
It
to get
happened.
you know.
It was just a little sloppy at
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that.
We're still giving Triple H a couple more weeks to sort of let people.
Oh no,
film study.
to me this wasn't even his fault.
No.
That should have been figured out between the two wrestlers. But otherwise, yeah, good stuff. Saraya has kind of clearly put out there she's been coming for all the women's gold in the NXT realm.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with her.
We're gonna see, the number one contender, of course. I think is she gonna be? Is it gonna be next week or is it gonna be at Heatwave?
That's at Heatwave as well.
Heatwave. Okay.
Zoe
nice.
Stark.
I think she's losing that title.
You think she is?
Yeah.
Zoe's got some momentum.
Yeah. Zoe's a Triple H project.
I still don't understand what all the vignettes were for her because they don't match, but I guess that was Zoe.
Yeah.
And let's see if that does happen. Let's see what happens to
Johnny Ace was in charge of that. That's all I'm going to say.
And let's see what happens to
Cora Jade's going to
Toxic
probably
Interaction.
Yeah. Well, and Cora Jade now is like, if you take out Zoe, you're the runner-up. Title shot goes to you. Cora, even though being the heel to another heel, was like, I'm still not believing this shit. So
she might try, but I think that's only to set up her and Roxy's feature match.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So that'll be fun. It'll be fun to see what they do with Toxic Attraction.
Yep.
After that, if she does lose the title,
but I will say this:
possibly come up to the main
boy,
roster.
does she look nervous running into that ring. Even though she adjusted the Battle Royal a week before, she seemed nervous running on that knee. And I get it. That's a hard injury to come back from.
Yeah.
But when she ran in the ring, she hopped a little bit, and I was like, "Zoe, relax."
Yeah, deep breath.
I hope someone backstage like Sean put her aside. Breathe.
Yeah.
The doctors told you it's healed.
Yep.
Trust me, you'll trust it again. Relax.
Yep.
All right, then we had another lovely backstage interview with Axiom.
I got to admit, when I first saw this, I was pissed.
I know.
Because I was like, how do you put one of the great British wrestlers in a fucking superhero costume? I give it a little time, which I always do in pro wrestling.
You do.
Because, people, we just talked about AEW earlier, and you heard me praise Anna Jay.
You did.
Because I'm like, I actually like it now. I get it now. I like it.
Yeah.
So just because sometimes you hate one thing one week doesn't mean you can't grow to like it.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah.
I really love Axiom.
It's making sense.
This turned into a really good match. I think what they're trying to do with him is almost create their next Rey Mysterio.
Basically, yeah, because like you said, Ray's got another year, maybe two.
Right.
He had a Duke. He had a
and
match
Duke Hudson's
Duke Hudson,
and
because
Duke
he gets
Hudson's a
interrupted.
great big man douchebag heel. He really is.
There you go.
But Duke needs to expand his moveset.
I agree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Axiom, he went with the Razor Edge rolls and then rolls up for the win there.
Yep.
So it's good, and he has a good. Axiom, he has a pretty good look. I like the way he's looking.
Axiom, especially in the ring, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah, great in the ring.
Yeah, no,
and then his
great.
outfit, they could change that around just like Ray does.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
With the colors and everything, it'd be
See,
good.
sometimes that's the nice thing about being a master wrestler. As El Generico could tell you. You just change it whatever at any time, and everyone will think you're different.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And then you go to an orphanage in Mexico.
And then some guy named Super Dragon just tries to kill you like every other 5 months.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep. Oh, they had
the
another
fun days of ROH. Is
the
what
good
we call
days.
All right. And then they had a good interview with Wesley talking about his loss to Trick Williams. This storyline is still going. They're going to have another match come up here soon.
It was good the first time.
Which
I
would be
liked
good.
It.
I'm going to very much enjoy that.
I just hope this is coming up to him getting
Zach back.
a mega. Listen, if they're going to bring him, which they could.
Yeah, they
The
could.
heat's died down. Everyone realized it was a bunch of
about
bullshit.
to say, I don't think there was a lot of. There was more heat on WWE for letting him go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's. I'll give it a 35% chance we'll see
Zach back.
Zach back pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't reunited with the other Radical yet, so.
I don't think he was ever going to go back to Impact. I think his whole hope was to come back to WWE.
Well, Zach was in Impact for like a short run there, but yeah.
All right. Next up, we have the NXT title, NXT Tag Team Championship match for the Creed Brothers with Tony D'Angelo against Tony D'Angelo and his buddy Stax. And, of course, they had the rest of the family out there, of course.
The mob boss paid the motherfucking price.
He did, because
Be careful who you do business with.
Santos Escobar made his return back. And
why does anybody trust Carmen? Ever.
No.
Ever.
She has not done one trustworthy thing since she got to NXT.
You know, I had a friend once I was growing up in part of Georgia for a short time. His name was Big Ant. We used to call him Big Ant. I was about 7th or 8th grade. And in about 7th, 8th grade, your hormones are kicking in. You kind of learning about, I think females are very attractive.
Yeah.
My wee-wee does weird things and all that good stuff, and I'm growing hair on my face. And, and sometimes you would go talk to a girl. You were kind of learning about relationships a little bit back then. And, you didn't know shit about love, but you were trying to find out. But even back then, if you knew every time somebody talked to the cute girl and something bad happened to him, your brain, even 13, 14 years old, would tell you, don't trust her.
Yep.
Why do these wrestlers keep trusting Carmen? Nothing good has happened. Like it's always a plan for them to take you out. Like what? So I'm watching the match, right? And something told me, I almost hit you up, Leroy, because I was like, watch, he's gonna be back, and Legado is about to turn on Tony, because I'm like, I don't know why this character Tony, and the way they wrote this story, why would you trust Carmen? And by the way, if this is Sean, he should be ashamed of himself. Because he is the man that brought up the fact that you couldn't trust Sonny.
Because she improved business at the dock 17%. Did you miss the line?
No, I didn't.
I think she helped with their melons, probably.
Yeah, she might have improved business 17%, but not for him.
There you go.
All right, well.
But the Creed brothers did pull it off with a lovely distraction.
The Creed brothers are getting the most natural reaction right now. People legitimately are into this tag team.
They have such a bright future.
They really do.
It's insanely bright.
And also, speaking of a hope or brighter future, if you want to, if you're having an issue in your life and you want to unpack some old personal issues like apparently Jesse just did.
He does my
we have an offer for you. BetterHelp.com is a place you can go, and we have ourselves a nice little thing here for you. So, like we said, BetterHelp.com. All right, so we go on from NXT, which was good. We're going to move into the world outside of WWE for just a second. Oh, what else happened?
Oh, that Brock Jensen went against Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy got the win.
Like I said, I'm trying to get I was so creeped out. I'm trying to avoid this, but all right, let's relive this.
Joe Gacy whooped his ass.
He did.
So at first it was a back and forth match.
Yeah.
And the young man's power was kind of prevailing, but it did not take much for Joe Gacy to just start whooping his ass.
I see now what you were talking about when Joe Gacy first got up there. Like, this dude is kind of a total package.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's basically what Bray should have been.
Interesting enough. If Bray does come back, and I am a stark believer that Stephanie and Triple H are like, yeah, those sales were ridiculous. Bray will be back.
They're still paying the guy.
Right. Like we might as well just get him back under contract.
So we can at least get a cut of it.
Right. Here's the thing. Man, what a fearsome foursome. Bray, Joe Gacy, and the Giant. Now, I throw this idea because someone threw this out on Reddit, and I went, hoo. If he wants to get away from control your narrative, which he should, Bray, Joe Gacy, the Dyad, Braun Strowman. Woo, what a freaky faction that is.
Well, control your narrative. They had their show, and it was a bust.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Triple H is in charge. We'll see what happens.
Yep. All right, so
we had two more matches.
Do I have to relive the rest of it?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Joe Gacy scared me, okay?
Okay.
He's creepy. I'm sorry. He's legitimately, you sit there and there's a tingle on your spine.
You know what? His thing is only $50, so we might have him send a message to you.
Wow.
Okay.
You know what? You can have Allison hug and hold you. Man, that might
I'm
help.
okay with that.
There, see, get that, and then she might give you shit for being scared, but hey.
Oh, well.
I appreciate that.
You know who's more creeped out than you?
Huh?
It's fucking Cameron Grimes.
There we go. But we had a ladies'
Cameron
match
Grimes is
with
very nervous about
Last
this.
Legend and LB Fire. and Alba Fire. She pulled out the win.
Alba Fire.
She
seems to be okay with this gimmick change. She's making
works.
it work. She's really into it, and she showed in this match, even though it was Lash Legend, who getting better slowly.
Getting better, but it's a process right now.
Yeah. The fact that she was a guest coach might have been part of the problem in Tennessee.
Probably.
But here's the deal. She's athletic. You can work with her. She's coachable because she was a WNBA star. But Alba Fire, she likes this. She's really good in ring.
Well, there's nothing to talk about there. Kaylee Ray's incredible. But
yeah.
Alba's going to do well in the main roster. I don't know if she'll actually ever win the women's championship on NXT.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of stacked.
Yeah.
But she'll do very well for herself in the main roster.
Last match of the night was the end. I believe this might be the end. They may be able to do another one. But Von Wagner and Solo Cisco.
So this was
Falls
weird to me.
anywhere.
It started so late. I was like, how are they going to make this work? But this was oddly enough, and hear me out, this was a Vince match.
Well, sure.
It came on late. It was
big
two
meaty
guys.
men slapping the meat.
A lot actually happened in
while.
this if you go back and watch it isolated.
Right.
They got a lot in the short time.
Yeah.
Because, again, they actually let the fucking television network know we're going to go overtime.
Yep.
Unlike the other guys down there in
Right.
Florida. But they got a lot in. There was a lot happening.
Right.
They introduced a lot of different people into it. And I enjoyed this. I
Cameron
thought it was very good.
Cameron Grimes had a moment in there where he got bumped.
Cameron's having a rough time.
He is
right
having
now.
but the way they
It could almost be said that maybe his push was a Vince thing.
there
only.
you go. But I
Maybe.
did.
I'm
I
mostly
did.
just-
I
love-
hope
just-
not.
yeah,
but
no,
yeah.
I'm mostly laughing at it, but just the way he's been treated.
I did love Solo's splash
That was
through
something.
the table. That was beautiful. Wow.
He damn near fucking missed, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
was
did.
close.
He did.
Thank God they were doing
All
it.
right.
Thank
But,
God
you
they
know-
actually moved that commentary table.
Yup.
But you know, we got one lovely lady, and that we have to say a happy
Happy birthday to
belated
Thicky
birth-
Stratus.
And then
Thicky James.
okay,
Why are you even talking to me? Rick?
Fidusa.
I'm trying. It's because there's somebody else.
Thicky
that-
Banks.
I just stopped.
It was somebody else's birthday too, along with that too.
Not Thicky.
just let it go.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Jordan Thickness. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. But our other favorite lady, that's a favorite lady of all three of us.
24. I didn't realize she's only 24.
Yeah.
She's 23.
23. When did I get so fucking old, man?
I know. But our other favorite lady that we all agree on, our lovely DPW champion, Sierra. It was her birthday on Friday.
That's
The
right.
best kept secret,
So-
if you ask Jesse, currently in pro wrestling.
A happy belated
Won't be a secret much longer.
happy belated birthday for both ladies.
Yes.
Especially Sierra.
Happy birthday, Sierra.
We love you to death.
All right, so we're going to leave the world of WWE for a second. But
Yes.
we have a couple of things to get to here. So, Jesse, I sent you a bingo card. I don't think you got too far on it because thankfully this was short and painful.
This was fucking painful.
This was awful.
It was.
This was horrible.
I saw clips and it's like Flair. I think he did. say-
Watching it live was worse.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are basically referring to the fact that Ric Flair did not die,
It was close.
He did pass out.
but you know what? He probably should have been checked out right after the match because he could not stand on his own power. That got bad.
Well, didn't he? It looked like he did. He faked a heart attack in front of his kids for a spot. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I just...
But
this-
it was cool that he came out and he had the gold belt, big gold.
the original
That was
big gold
cool.
belt, yeah.
That was cool. But
You know what this You know what this whole pay-per-view was to me? You know what it actually was to me?
what's that?
It was an AEW pay-per-view, and I'll explain. So, because here was the thing. There was so much goodness, and then you got to the main event.
Well, that was the thing. Before we even get to what that abomination was, the results were as followed.
And he good star-studded audience there too.
Mm-hmm.
Ren Narita
Yep.
beat Yurima.
Oh, yeah, Yuya Oruma, yeah.
Jesse.
Great New Japan match.
Yep.
Great match.
Jesse, do me a favor. Who is Mance Warner to our audience?
Oh, my
who won the
God.
Bunkhouse Battle Royal?
And by the way, debuted on Rampage. Mance Warner is the lower tier man, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's basically Stone Cold if he would have stayed in ECW.
Okay.
Like but I listen. I love Mance Warner. Funny, but in that ring, it's taken very seriously.
So he got himself a nice boot.
Yes.
Which, hey, by the way,
got a boot?
Which, by the way,
That's cool.
if you're a young wrestler though, and you get that from that pay-per-view, which will hopefully never happen again, hold on to that, treasure it. That's a big deal.
Right.
Well, we could do that without the main event.
Oh, we're gonna get to that minute.
The next match, which was some of the
Unfortunately.
best 11 minutes of my life in pro wrestling, the Motor City Machine Guns defeated the Wolves. Again, I was a little bummed because, you know, in the indies, they always talk about more wrestling is supposed to be more canon. Right now, Eddie and Davey have an issue in Impact, but this match,
Here's the thing. Can we all just sit back and appreciate the fact that Chris Sabin and
Alex Shelley.
are like 46 years old and
They're-
still doing this?
And by the way, Chris Sabin had double ACL replacements.
this is insane.
Damn.
They've always been to me one of the smoothest, most in sync tag teams of any era.
Incredible to watch.
When you watch these guys,
Love those guys, man.
when you watch these guys, you got to look at yourself and be like, they are so in sync. It's just incredible.
Listen, man, I'm watching this, and this is not nothing. This is not a shot against the other tag team.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Wolves are great,
Oh yeah, no, the Wolves are fantastic.
but man, I'm watching the Motor City Machine Guns, and I'm like, I don't think we appreciate these two enough.
Well, Dixie sure as hell didn't.
She's a fucking idiot. But, and that's the only Dixie thing I'm going to talk about today. But, they are so brilliant. If Dave finds a way to bring them to Minnesota, we're going.
Oh, I've already seen them live in ROH.
What's that?
I've seen Alex live. I haven't seen them together.
Oh, I saw Motor
unfortunately.
City Machine Guns Briscoes too.
Well, we all have we all have Dave's
I'm in the video.
ear.
Oh, you are.
Slightly in the video, yes.
We all have Dave's ear.
You
so
think
you
those
just
guys kept the
send him
match
a
in the
message.
You think the
Him or
Briscoes and the
Brian or
Motor City
whatever.
Machine Guns kept it in the ring?
Well, no.
Exactly.
No.
Next up was Killer Cross. Pause. Defeated Davey Boy Smith Jr.,
Yep.
which is a good match.
Oh, it was great.
These guys have a lot of heat in the indies going back
Right.
for a couple of years, so this was kind of a nice
By the
little
way,
blow-off.
look for both of them because we got one back.
Yeah.
The other one will be back.
Next up was
Oh, you
the
think so?
match.
Yeah.
Next up was the match that everybody was questioning, other than the main event after they saw it. For 5 minutes, we saw a four corners match for the Progress World Championship #1 contender, Jonathan Gresham, who was reportedly done with wrestling after the whole ROH thing.
Right done with AEW.
Stupid tantrum.
Still finishes his
Right.
commitment.
He's a professional.
Jesse, please say the name. Konosuke
Oh, Konosuke Takashita.
Takashita.
That's a hell of a name.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, it's take a shoulda. Alan Angels and Nick
Just saying.
Wayne. Jesse, give us a little quick thing on Nick Wayne. People liked him after this.
Oh man, so you can actually find a lot of his matches on YouTube.
Okay.
He is
I've heard he's a deathmatch guy, but he's
half and half. So you
is he a part of that earlier GCW that you talked
a
about?
little
where there's no
bit
actual wrestling.
was later part CCW when he started.
Okay.
I will say this. In the pro wrestling world, he is your new wave of the John Moxleys, the Mick Foleys,
Okay.
the Terry Funks, the guys, the kind of wrestler guys that when Leroy was growing up, like if your parents didn't want you to watch it, you couldn't watch it because they were going to do some violent shit to each other. But it was all a part of the story. I love him though.
So Jonathan Gresham is now the #1 contender to the Progress World Championship. We love Progress here, by the way.
Progress
Oh,
is
yeah.
great.
Progress does a great job over there. Next up, apparently these guys still exist because AEW forgot Brock Anderson and Brian Pillman Jr.
Right.
The Four Horsemen with Arn Anderson.
That's funny. It's the Four Horsemen. There's only two.
Well, what's funny is that when you actually use Arn as the enforcer, he actually works, not Glock Anderson.
Pointing a Glock in fucking Cody's head.
But yeah,
Christ.
no, I love the callback to Brian's old days.
Right.
Right. Brian Pillman Sr. But yeah, this was a good match.
This
I
is
enjoyed this.
great.
They faced off against the Rock and Roll Express of Ricky and Kerry Morton.
Yep.
Robert Gibson. Now, is Robert the one whose knee is bad? That's why they're on their last tour together?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, Ricky Morton could just go. Ricky Morton hasn't aged in like 30 years. Holy
go on.
crap.
I
Man,
love
the
it.
fact that we've still been getting great matches out of them all these years later is kind of crazy.
And now the match that stole the goddamn night.
Absolutely.
Ray Phoenix beat Bandito, Laredo Kid, and Black Taurus by pinfall. Folks, I know Jim Cornette isn't always a fan of lucha matches because they always go a million miles an hour. I'm okay if these guys are the ones doing it.
Oh, damn right.
Let me be very, very clear. There is a reason why people are like, listen, man, I will pay the $25 to watch AAA Lucha Mania. I forget the name of it.
Triple Mania.
Thank you. And some of the other pay-per-views. This shit is great. Well, like, if you think Rey Mysterio is great, put 4 Rey Mysterios in a match with each other. And you're just like, oh my God, whoa, why is he trying to die to pin that guy? It's amazing.
Oh,
It's
yes.
like you're just like, is everyone on cocaine in Mexico? Because this is insane. But yeah, by the way, Chris Bandito.
That was the longest match of the night outside of the main.
Right. The fact he hasn't gotten a call from AEW shows me where Tony's.
Well, they finally got Roosh, so
Yeah.
so they might be making their way to Bandito.
Getting Roosh wasn't going to be hard because you already had Andrade.
True. Next up, folks, I don't care if it was a no contest. Josh Alexander and Jacob Fatu beat the hell out of each other.
Who acknowledged his tribal chief this week?
He did.
Yes, he said, I am not the hood chief. I acknowledge Roman Reigns as my tribal chief, which Roman then liked, and he said, bless you, cousin. It took your other cousin too long to do this.
Roman kayfabe is best Roman.
It's great.
Oh, my God,
This
yeah.
guy's a savage. He's Black Air Force Savage at this point.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm watching this match, and I go, Impact, you got to get on national television. This guy is a great champion.
Is there anyone that Josh couldn't work with? I mean, he's worked
No,
with.
I don't think so.
He's worked with the X Division. He's worked with Lucha. He's worked.
I mean,
with,
what a blessing the fact that Ethan Page decided to go to AEW.
How sad is it for Ethan, though?
Yes.
And by the way, folks, Jesse's the first guy on this
Right.
show to admit I thought Ethan was the breakout
I thought
star.
Ethan was going to be the breakout star. Nope. Josh is just like, hey, you guys try to forget about Chris Benoit. Well, I do Chris Benoit style matches. I fuck people up for a living. Get ready to go to Suplex
Next
World.
up, not the match I was hoping for, but because I think the Von Erichs looked a little clunky, but it's hard to look smooth when you're in there with the arguably the best tag team in the last 15 years.
Yes.
But the Briscoes ended up beating the Von Erichs. Wasn't bad, but the Von Erichs looked a little rushed or lost. It was only an 8-minute match, so
They might have gotten rushed.
yeah.
Because they actually like to work slower matches.
Yeah, they do. Jordan Grace defeated Deonna Purrazzo and Rachel Ellering by submission. I said it on the show. Watch out for Rachel Ellerling. She's good.
But Leroy's girl, Jordan Grace, just looks like a superstar.
She does.
I just
She
wish
needs to stop tweeting.
She needs to get away
No,
from some
no,
diva.
No, she does not need to stop tweeting.
She can tweet pictures, but she needs to stop tweeting wrestling opinions.
Okay, yeah, just pictures. That's fine.
It's
My girlfriend might hate me after a while, but I don't care.
Let's be smart about what we're saying. Is all I'm saying to Jordan Grace. But otherwise,
She can tweet with cake anytime.
well, she is cake. But yeah, it's
Sweetness.
she is literally one of the best pure wrestlers in the
Oh, yeah.
planet.
She's
yeah. And next up, Jesse, this might have been the longest 27 minutes of your life. Because this was bad.
This is fucking.
How much
terrible.
could we get off the bingo card there? We did pretty good.
I hit bingo twice.
Did you?
All
Yeah, I
right.
actually hit bingo twice.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
Without getting the one that he died.
yeah, which was I'm happy about, but I was scared,
I saw that he mouthed to Andrade.
dude. So
I passed out.
one of the last times he tagged in Andrade in this match, He was crawling so slow. Andrade literally had to pull him, and I'm like, "Dear God, somebody get Ric Flair to the hospital."
This was better to go out on than the match at WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels.
Bullshit.
No, not
Bullshit.
Even close.
That's what Ric Flair is going to tell people for the rest of his life.
Bullshit.
Which might only be a couple of weeks if he tries to go back into nature.
No,
boy
he's
mode.
done. He's
Oh
done.
my God.
So after the match,
Undertaker,
Yeah.
Foley, and Diamond Dallas, who was always stalking
Bret
him.
Hart was also there.
Always
By the way,
stalking
always
behind-
stalking Taker's wife is
Yeah,
Diamond
so
Dallas
many
Page.
years. Long-term
Yeah, he
booking there.
wasn't really sitting that far from Michelle McCool.
No,
I thought it was
he
funny.
wasn't. But no,
Yeah, Brett Michaels
Bret
Hart was there.
Bret, Taker, and Mick looked like they didn't want to be there once they saw what it was.
Right.
Yeah, and then,
They I'm not putting words in any of their mouths. They're all greats in their own way. One's just a bitter old bastard. But they looked just not happy halfway through this match. You watched
I
it
don't
live. I
blame
watched
them.
the replay. Was I wrong?
Dude, so him and Jarrett started the match, which that was the first time where I was like, "Oh God, no!" Because my brain was like, "They're gonna let the two younger guys go, Jay and
If you
Andrade."
want to give me 27 minutes, it should have been 20 minutes of Jay and Andrade
right.
showing off.
yeah,
And so when I saw this, I went, "All right, well, this could work." The reason it could work is because Jarrett ain't gonna let nothing happen to Rick. He ain't gonna
No,
over
he isn't,
chop
no.
him, over hit him, nothing like that. Which of course he didn't. And then Jay Lethal comes in. Now Jay Lethal was trying to be safe, but Rick, one of the first things he tried to do in this match which I was like, who fucking told him he can attempt this spot? Was he was going to try to take a super duperplex from Jay Lethal. Thank goodness Jay Lethal did it from the bottom rope while Rick was up top.
Well, guess
Yeah.
who said no to the top rope? Ashley.
Right.
His daughter. Don't you do that? I'm going to kill you before you even get into this match.
And then because
No, she would have revived him in the middle of the ring and then killed him again.
That's true.
so
The
there
superplex was going to kill him.
then there was a shot from Karen
Karen Jarrett.
Jarrett.
It's fine.
Sorry, Kurt. Who was so sweet to us. Go watch the interview of these guys did with Kurt Angle.
And I still have his voicemail.
I know you do.
I ain't giving that a go.
And
Oh my
so, and then he starts to bleed, and I went, yeah, he's gushing a bit much. He looks purple. And that was the first time Andrade tagged in. I'm like, oh, okay, thank God. Somebody go check on fucking Flair. At this point, I look into the crowd, and I could literally see Undertaker mouth. Is somebody gonna go check on Rick? Because he started to turn purple. And you're like, this ain't good. And then Andrade kind of takes into the match. Then it starts to pick up a little bit. Okay, and I'm like, okay, let's keep Flair the fuck out this match. Let Andrade carry the rest of it. He's the younger dude. He can handle this. This is easy for him. No. Flair pulls his dying body back up to tag his son-in-law, only to start getting beat again for like 10 fucking minutes.
Thank God it was Jeff Jarrett. That's all I got.
But even then I'm like, Jeff, literally watch this man's eye. Because like I said, it was the purple face, then the chest, so they were trying to hide the chest because the pacemaker's there.
Yeah.
And now, of course, Jeff and Jay are smart. They didn't chop him or anything like
No,
that.
of
They're
course
very smart. They're not going to
Oh,
do
Yeah,
that shit.
no.
But Rick tried to run himself into the fucking guardrail near his family. So that basically the spot was Jeff kind of hit him with the bottom of I believe it was the guitar, so it actually wouldn't break in the back. And I think he thought Flair was just going to go to the ground. But no, Flair tried to oversell it and go onto the damn metal guardrail. I'm watching this match in horror because I'm like, I swear to God, if I watch Ric Flair die tonight, no fan is going to be happy about this.
The last match of Ric Flair's career.
And then I'm trying to
will be
retake
at
over.
WrestleMania to me, 'cause
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to retake over so we can try to get to the end of this fucking debacle. But no, it is he tags Flair in. Flair puts the figure 4 on Jeff Jarrett. They count to 3, but here's the problem for the nerds out there. Rick is so hurt, his shoulders were fucking down.
What people don't understand is that the last match of Ric Flair's career ended in arguably controversy.
It basically
now
ended.
Jeff is smart; he'll never bring it up as long as he lives.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But no. The last official match of Ric Flair's career to me will be that WrestleMania. I refuse to acknowledge anything he did after, because anything after, unless it was the woo-off with Jay Lethal, which could have been done as a manager, which was fine, was utter trash.
This whole thing was bad.
It was. And then
And it ruined the opportunity that Rick did something that hell, Tony Khan won't even do. He featured a lot of young, actual good
he
talent
did.
on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, like the show up until that match wasn't bad. There was a Matt Cardona return.
How's he doing? Is he healthy?
He looked mostly good.
Okay.
Then there was a son of a bitch.
He's gonna renew his vows during a GCW show. They might burn that place to the ground.
He's the greatest heel in indie wrestling right now.
He's going to get
He's
hit.
the greatest heel in the history of GCW.
He's going to get hit. A lot of shit is going to get thrown.
But
at
he's
him.
smart. He understands the indie crowd usually hates Vince's wrestling, so I'm just going to do Vince's wrestling and let them all hate me.
Yeah.
There's a ton of good shit in this show. So if you want to go watch it, because it was actually only $15.
Yeah.
So I got a discount through my cousin because I'm like, please send me one of your coupon codes. So I only watched it for $8. Cost me not much, but I'm like, everything up until that main event wasn't bad. If that wasn't the main event, we would have been good. I'd have been like, actually, for a Ric Flair tribute show, this is pretty good. No. If I'm Ashley, if I'm Charlotte,
and she was not there.
Smart of her.
She wanted nothing to do with this.
I'd be like, that's it.
You know, Andrade went home and was like, yeah, we're not going to talk about this.
I'm sorry, honey.
Oh, he slept on the couch. That's the first time in this marriage he slept on the couch.
Yeah, he might have.
Babe, I just tried to go get your ass on the couch. We're not talking about this.
And then Flair.
I'm going to Kid Rock's bar and get wasted. What?
So you can die of alcohol.
Oh my
You
God.
die, buddy.
Okay, the alcohol's not feeling him yet.
Where were you two bingos?
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot. Yeah, so here, I was going to say. Okay, you ready?
All right.
Go for it.
Elo laid in the ropes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
David Crockett ad, of course.
Of course.
Figure 4 leg rock,
Yeah.
right? Jarrett goes over because I counted that double pin. And then the Charlotte cameo doesn't count. But I'm like, well, the rest of the family was there.
There you go.
Otherwise, Flair strut.
Yeah.
So Elo in the ropes to be the man promo, woo off Ric Flair himself, and then Flair goes over. So that was the cross.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We also have turnbuckle flip, back body drop, ridiculous flop, woo off, chair usage. Technically there was 3, but like I said, I didn't give the full one because Charlotte wasn't there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
She was the only one smart enough not to be a part of this.
You know what? There was 3.
Okay.
There was a low blow.
Of course.
Oh,
Ethel did impersonate Flair. Conrad did try. They did run a Conrad ad at the bottom. Double J, of course, strutted a couple times, and Flair did go over. So yeah, it was a fucking mess.
3 bingos. Congrats to Jesse on 3 bingos.
I was disgusted. I've never got done watching a wrestling thing that wasn't AEW.
At least Triple H was smart enough to say, I don't need a last match to possibly die. And my last image will not be whatever the fuck this was. This was awful. I am sad to say that Ric Flair's career is over. but I'm happy to say it's over after I witnessed whatever the hell you want to call that.
What was amazing
Definitely.
was the turn of the fans.
Because they realized.
Everyone tweeted afterwards. Yeah, his last match was against HBK. Because it was almost disgusting to watch.
Now, it was 6,800 people, had a bunch of buys.
Listen.
Second biggest gate in the history of indie wrestling.
Right. They
But-
basically moved it to an arena.
Yeah.
Big on that.
Yeah.
David Crockett, don't you ever fucking allow this to happen again.
No, I
Ever.
don't think so.
Not a Ric Flair. Well, WWE ain't probably letting Jeff Jarrett do this shit again unless it's in their own ring.
Yes. It's like, Jeff, we know you're kind of a CEO right now, but we gave you your one. That's it.
Like, if you wrestle again, it'll be for us. You're not. Fuck that. That was horrible.
There we go.
Oh, and to Jay Lethal. Really, dude? I know the guy's your hero, but you should have known while training this man he wasn't going to be able to go this fucking long. That was one of the big things that disgusted me. I actually lost respect for Jay Lethal. You were training with this man for 2 weeks, which, by the way, made no sense to your story because you guys had whooped his ass in a parking lot.
Yeah.
You got to watch that. They tried to whoop his ass at another show. I just grow the fuck up. All right, next thing.
All right. So, Jesse, you're not all the way caught up. Stuff happens. One quick update here on the G1.
Yeah, we'll do the G1, most of it next week.
However, I will
Okay.
say this. Upset this morning, Jonah defeated the Rainmaker
Oh.
as of this morning.
Oh.
And they gave him the mic when it was over. And Jesse has only one statement until he's fully caught up. We might not be getting the finals we thought.
Yeah, they might surprise us this year.
There you go.
And I wasn't expecting that, so that'll be fun.
And of course, we end every New Japan segment with the same. Yano never change.
Sure.
Oh, wait, Yano's just great.
Yes.
We love you, Toru Yano.
Just never change Toru. He's great.
It's so good. All right, Jesse. Triple H has been described, Leroy as well, as aggressive in meetings.
Yes.
But aggressive, yet with a light hand.
Aggressively positive.
Everyone seems
you
to be
go.
excited. Everyone gets input. So SmackDown, we led all the way to a face-off between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre.
Correct.
We kind of got that. Because then all of a sudden, and at this point, this is Triple H. Ever since SummerSlam, you're waiting for something after every moment.
Now you're waiting for all the returns.
You're literally on the edge of your seat. And I stood off of mine because I was like, no shit.
I did like when Drew came out there and his lovely comment about the tribal.
My tribal queef, Allison lost her mind.
I fucking laughed.
Allison lost her
I thought that was wonderful.
When he said that, I literally went, "Oh yeah, Triple H is definitely in charge. This one, not
There
gonna
we go,
allow
there
we go.
Vince."
But it's just, folks, the reason why I emphasized that Killer Cross was at this pay-per-view, Karrion Kross is back, and he's
Yes.
got Scarlett on the main roster. Jesse, this man,
Damn.
as you first reported before the internet even knew, and we were ahead of that.
Right.
He was on the T-shirt for create your narrative.
Right.
Yeah.
He was on their team.
For control your narrative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
control your narrative. He was the fourth member of that
Right.
ownership group.
Fourth unofficial official member. Yeah.
And Jesse, it was reported that morning that he had re-signed,
Right.
and Scarlett, and out of nowhere, he's on SmackDown.
They got me to pop
No
because
shit.
my thought was I was like, okay, we'll probably see him on Raw.
I wish we would have been live when that happened.
That's my fault.
We would have probably both pooped ourselves.
Yeah,
at the same
you would have
time
saw me go because I literally went, "Oh shit, he's here tonight!"
Guys,
I was just like, "Wait a minute,
Guys, the WWE draft will be happening either at the show we'll be at or shortly before the show we're at.
Correct.
So you'll have some chances to have some fun.
Oh yeah, I loved that, and then beating down Drew, and then putting the hourglass. Oh wow,
He kept the hair,
that's fine.
which is
Good.
good. There's too many bald wrestlers right now
yes."
with beards. But Jesse, now we're gonna get back to the
Or long-haired wrestlers with beards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So this is kind of what we're gonna say here. So also, folks, we're just gonna throw this in there. Dave Meltzer's a goddamn moron.
Yeah.
Dax
he is.
Harwood, you're my new favorite wrestler of the week because you shut that man down real quick. I was so proud of my Uncle Dax.
Go ahead and tell the world what
So
Dave decided
Dave Meltzer was retweeting a tweet that said, "How can people think the Bucks are burying FTR or quote dodging them? We think that because we know it, because we have 17 years of them doing this."
Right.
Yep.
But here's the deal. She simply said, "How can anyone believe that?" Okay, simple wrestling opinion.
Okay.
Whatever. Only 1,200 some followers to Daisy.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Uncle Dave of the Jim Cornette Experience, not actually the Jim Cornette, but that's what they call him, was Uncle Dave. Dave Meltzer, the man who was once called the gospel by my friend to my right,
Yeah.
simply retweeted it and said the people that believe that are basically out listening to Alex Jones types, who, by the way, Alex, when you're a crazy conspiracy theorist, this is a lesson to all you idiots out there with a show. When you say stupid shit, someone's finally going to come for your ass, and you're going to have to admit in open court you're a lying sack of crap.
Thank God I don't lie.
$49 million is the least you should pay to these people for the bullshit you put them through. And I don't care if that's, quote, politically driven. That's just fact and obviousness.
There you go.
Alex Jones, I hope that you told the truth when you said anything above $2 million would bankrupt your company, because I don't want to hear your ass no more.
I agree.
Because you had to. Because here's the deal. To his followers who might be listening to me, he admitted to you he was lying to you. So don't keep buying his merchandise. Don't listen to him. Hats off to the Sandy Hook families that finally took this motherfucker to task.
He's literally selling a sex pill that really actually doesn't work.
But anyway,
Wow.
hats off to
Your
Uncle...
penis does not grow when you
No.
take that pill.
Now, hats off to Uncle Dax, who decided to retweet to Dave. Dave, all due respect, shut the fuck up. Fuck off.
So he basically said, with all due respect and love, fuck off.
Two things came out of this tweet. Number one, Dax and Cash want nothing to do being associated with that with Alex Jones. That's obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Number one. And number two, they're nice guys. You can tell they want to do what's
They're
best for the
clearly
company.
good guys. They're
but they know they're being dodged by the Bucks.
right.
They know they're being dodged by the Bucks.
They almost confirmed the fact that there's basically truth to those words.
They know they're getting
Right.
dodged. But anyway,
As I've been saying, like,
but anyway, this wraps into, and I did actually want to throw this in with this subject. Jesse, Cross is back.
right,
We don't know how long you said FTR's only got another 2, maybe 3 years.
something like that.
Jesse, we talked about it, but I didn't think that Triple H was going to be so aggressive to do it. The mass exodus is now coming back.
yeah, I think
It's
so.
happening a lot faster
And if
than we
Tommy
thought.
N had only signed like maybe a 2-year deal to feel out the waters,
Oh, he'd be
back.
he'd be fucking gone by the Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd bring Brody with him.
Right.
How
He'd
long
be
is Buddy
gone.
signed? That's a real good question.
That question is more about New Japan, and I would have to look that up.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. But just okay, so gentlemen, we're not doing a top 5, but it's just of these releases. First of all, Billy Kay needs to come back and just offer a resume. My God, can we just make this happen right now? Hey, Jesse's happy for Sean Spears for once. We'll give Sean his.
I am happy for you in your personal life, sir.
Yes.
Don't
yes.
wrestle again. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all right. But yes, we are happy with you.
All right. But hey, Billy's kind of free right now. Peyton's a little busy.
She's gonna be a mom.
Peyton's gonna go be a mom. I've got some releases here, boys.
Oh.
And by the way, a lot of these names were not picked up by AEW.
Right.
William Regal's probably going to stick around as long as they're
I'm assuming he also signed a 5-year contract.
probably. Jesse James has nothing going on, but he's working for Emergence for Impact. Road Dogg.
Road Dogg is not coming back to WWE. You want to know why? Because Road Dogg's a fucking idiot. And I get that he is Triple H's friend, but if I'm Paul and I'm working for Paul, I go, don't bring this idiot back.
All right.
Yeah, we don't need him back.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys here. Timothy Thatcher's kind of still out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's still a free agent.
He's still a free.
I think he's been doing work in the UK, but
he
he's
has.
still a free agent.
Yeah, he has. But Timothy Thatcher's still out there.
And he's a
love to
Triple
have-
H guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to have
Danny
him back.
Burch is still out there.
Yeah.
Hideki Suzuki's technically still out there. He was in Diamond Mine for a short period of time.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Kathy Carino, Allison Danger,
She might come back.
Gabe Sapolsky, maybe. Gabe was a guy who worked with NXT a little bit.
Half and half on Gabe, though.
The biggest question mark is going to be Samoa Joe
Yeah.
because
He's only on a 2-year deal.
well, and you reported that, but basically it's just if he sees this ROH thing going nowhere and realizes that Tony's not going to put him, because here's the deal, Joe is so secure he don't need to sit there and kiss no buck's feet.
Well, he admitted he
Samoa-
was enjoying just doing the recruiting and coaching.
He also got to spend more time at
Right.
home, which he's never had in
Right.
his entire life, arguably.
and they were paying him really good money to do it, and Triple H was fine with him in the role.
And the other thing about it is that we don't know how much longer until he gets, and I hate to say it, but, you know, the man did say if he gets inducted, which might happen under Triple H, he'd walk on that stage. He might get Lex Luger. We don't know if that injury is going to come up
Right.
later in life. We don't know.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
that bump is still the dumbest shit I've ever seen in wrestling.
Right.
How do you allow that?
I don't know.
But anyway, Brian Kendrick is still available.
Possible.
He's been training guys mostly.
Right. He
that's
would
where
probably
Brian
come
is.
back as a coach more than anything.
And that I can see that, yeah.
Shane McMahon, that's a family issue.
Oh,
That's
no,
not
no.
even a professional
That's
issue.
him and Stephanie don't even talk. Yeah.
No.
So that's the report on those two. They don't even talk, so he won't be back.
Okay, Claudio's here. That's a whole nother thing.
Signed for
Yeah.
like 4 or
Yeah.
5 years.
Pat Buck. We'll have to
maybe.
wait and see.
Wait, Pat Buck was the commentator, right?
Yeah. Producer. He was a producer backstage.
Yeah, I can see them.
He was the
getting him
redheaded
back.
producer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see them getting him back.
Nash Carter. Again, you're kind of half and half. on
Like
that.
I said, I'm at
Possibility.
35% right now.
This one's a no because he clearly is happy because they're finally giving him what he wants, even though he's working with Impact right now. Kushida's probably going to stay in Japan.
Kushida's happy doing what he's doing.
But Jesse, I said this once it finally got announced and once he debuted back. It seems like Gato's finally going to give him what he wanted.
about to say he's going to get a heavyweight push.
Because to be fair,
Yeah, that'd
WWE
be good.
failed, but New Japan failed first. Nobody gave the guy a main
Right.
run, which is weird because he's one of the best technical
Well,
wrestlers in the
Triple
world.
H did try, then of course, then they switched it to 2.0,
Right.
and he was just never going to fit in there.
Yeah.
Dude, Malcolm Bivens, just come on home, please. Just
I
Yeah.
don't.
what are you doing but handing
here's
out
the
business
thing.
cards?
I've been looking.
Leroy, I still need business
I've
cards.
been looking for the contract
Well,
on
give
him.
me a day or two.
All
I'll
right.
get some.
There's no update on how long that contract is, so he could literally just be there on a 6-month to 6-month deal or something like
Yeah.
that.
This one's weird because he's now officially signed to, I think, MLW and someone else's new promotion. Harlan? Parker Bordeaux?
Yeah.
He's in MLW,
Yeah.
and then he also debuted on Impact.
Yeah.
He was on.
I could see him
Dark.
come through, but he won't be back with them
No.
per se.
Persia Parada? Maybe. She was a Triple H gal.
Maybe.
Maybe,
She was a
yeah.
Triple H gal.
A couple of random people. Draco Anthony? They were pushing him in the black and gold brand for a
Yeah,
little
they
bit
were.
there.
I don't know.
Because here's the weird part. Even though they were hoarding talent, when Triple H was in charge, you never felt that way.
No.
Everybody seemed to have a place on the card. It made sense.
NXT, because he did a
Yep.
lot of cycling.
A bunch of more. Okay, so there's a bunch of releases that they just straight from the Performance Center. Dexter Loomis still talks to Triple H every week.
He'll be back.
He'll be back at some
I hope
point.
so. I really hope so. I love Dexter.
Candice LeRae's out there, Jesse.
So is
They're
Johnny
coming back.
Gargano.
And so is Johnny Gargano.
They're coming back.
Troy,
Yeah.
Troy
What
Two
part they're
Dimes.
doing, I don't know,
He
but-
screwed up himself.
Yeah.
Still don't know what the whole thing was with the Performance Center.
Yeah, I was about to say there hasn't really been a lot of news on it.
I don't think Paige will be back because I think
No.
even Triple H agrees with the neck thing.
Don't be so sure.
We'll see.
Because here's the thing. She had to go through the same shit that Brian had to go through to get cleared. So, and Triple H actually was the main backer of Daniel coming back.
True.
So, She right now will be up in the air until she decides what she wants to do.
That's
Yep.
not good. Another woman I'm going to drool over on TV. Damn it.
Because you're a hornball.
Yeah,
You are.
I need more.
You are. But yeah,
Should've
no.
been a more men.
So yeah, I mean, those are the real big names.
Shit, what are you talking about? Real big names. There's someone highest selling guy in the last 22 years.
Yes, everybody is waiting to see if that does happen.
At this point, Jesse, if he has the itch and it's Triple H, not Vince, something tells me he's not going anywhere else.
May have the biggest dick in pro wrestling. Maybe.
He negotiated a contract where he made money off his merch a lot. So
yeah.
Everyone backstage besides Vince and those guys in the end loved him still.
Well, not only that, but his name has been brought up by so many current and former WWE. If Undertaker drops your name, he's WWE for life.
Oh, yeah.
Braun Strowman probably clearly needs him and needs to come back home.
Braun Strowman needs to come back because Braun Strowman, bro, you're not making it on your own. You're
No,
just
he's not.
not.
No, he's not.
Your girlfriend's there.
Who are alluding to, of course, is Bray Wyatt. I would have to assume Bray's going to be back.
EC3?
I would bring EC3 back.
Yeah.
Here's why. He could be one of the first guys you sign to a non-exclusive WWE deal that Triple H has talked about. Where
Okay, yeah.
Basically, it's one of those things where, yeah, the guy, we have him, he's coming back, but he can also still go elsewhere, but that's on their owner firm. They're not going to pay for that like Tony Khan will. He could be the guy they do that
The
with.
unrated, the thing that no one's really talking about, the most underrated part of this, is think about the people who are still signed to AEW. We'll even take the 5-year contract guys. Okay? We'll take them for a second. I guarantee you they ain't saying nothing negative to the people that aren't signed for 5 years about Triple H.
Right.
We saw what they did with Cora Jade.
Yeah.
Cora Jade slipped through their developmental cracks somehow.
They have developmental.
I guess.
Technically, they do.
But here's the thing Jesse and I were talking about, folks.
Zach
Triple
got
H
jokes.
is not going to gut everything.
No.
The Performance Center will continue to do NIL things. They will continue to bring in Raw athletes. Because, by the way, if y'all think that Raw athletes are a bad idea over indie guys, Bianca Belair, conversation over.
There you go.
Fucking Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can just find a direction for her, where honestly, if she just came back as a Southern Belle, the last thing was so blah. If she just came back as a Southern Belle, nobody would
I
care.
don't think anyone would care. Triple H is going to find a way to bring her back.
She's too talented.
Yeah.
She's too natural
right.
to not do something.
Right.
She's so good.
She could come back with the tag team stuff, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Triple H will
possibility.
find a way.
And by the way, how do you know that Triple H is in charge? Folks, on SmackDown, not only did Karrion Kross come back, and he seemed to be pushed very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And they fixed him with one return.
It's pretty good.
Folks,
He apologized.
a Shayna Baszler match went more than 20 minutes.
And she won.
Well, more than 5 minutes. Ricochet got more than 5 minutes.
Right.
But Shayna Baszler won.
Yeah.
Now, hats off to Raquel being the workhorse horse
Right.
of it. She did
Oh
a
my
great
God,
job.
yes.
But let me tell you something. If Shayna okay, first of all, just because Triple H is pushing former people, guys, they've paid their dues. They've been there. They deserve it, whether it was Vince or him.
Right.
Oh, she does.
And by the way, we all said it, and he has said it numerous times in interviews. He doesn't care about the direction right now. Ciampa's just happy to be getting a bigger payday right now.
Right.
Because he had his run. He was happy with his run.
Right.
And he wants to get out before the neck gets too bad.
Right.
So, I think Triple H knows there's a clock on Ciampa. But I think Ciampa might give it a... Because Ciampa seems very complimentary of the main roster regardless.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of his fears seem to be gone.
And he seems to be okay with the stuff with The Miz, because The Miz is a good guy to be around as far as if you're going to build a heel character. So
Yeah. But yeah, no, guys, if Shayna Baszler wins at the Castle, nothing against Liv, Shayna's earned that for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
that's the only blight right now on Triple H and his creative. And I do get that maybe The Miz and Logan Paul went too long, but that's the blight, because you should have allowed her to just beat Ronda and then Ronda snapped. That is something I agree with you with.
Yeah.
Because the way they did it.
But you even said they'll fix that.
Right. Basically, the way they did it is she survived Ronda.
Yeah.
Which they've done in NXT and it's worked. But yeah, it did not work here. And unfortunately, the Ronda stands did turn on her. And that's something he's probably going to try to adapt to now as the creative. That's right. And when you get to the main roster, there are fans who are stands for certain people.
Yeah.
So in trying to bring people back and keeping the same fans, we're gonna have to be very smart about how we do this. And there's not a problem with
basically, we're gonna end with this. Everyone needs to give this a grace period because you have to.
Gotta let it build, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, unlike Tony, Triple H will actually do long-term storytelling.
He'll
Hell
also
yeah.
cycle in and out of stars.
I think it's going to be a lot of the Metallica syndrome of 2 weeks on, Now, Metallica does 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off touring. Much different story. But here's the deal. I feel like it's going to be 2 to 3 months, do a story, go home.
Right.
2 to 3 months, do a story, then you go home.
Right.
If you're a main event guy, you're going to have to work it.
Your main event
Oh,
are
yeah.
more popular. You're probably going to be on a little bit more.
But my
yeah.
question is, who gets the belt now? Is it Drew or is it Karrion?
I actually think it will be Drew.
I
think
think
they brought Karrion back.
I saw Karrion's interview with Chris Van Fleet. I think this was the interview after he debuted, so I'm pretty sure this was the interview in which
Yeah.
Karrion was talking about his, because he had the hair.
Yeah.
I think Karrion was very thankful for Triple H in NXT.
Yeah.
I think he's willing to see where Triple H goes with him. He didn't sign if he wasn't going to get a push, though, because
Right.
he knows his worth on the
Oh,
indies. And by the way, hats off to Dewey Foley, who apparently wrote that great Adam Cole segment,
Oh, okay.
according to Karrion Kross. That was all Dewey Foley.
Dewey Foley is a 4-year-old boy. You sick sons of bitches! I don't know if anyone has ever seen that promo about in ECW for Mick Foley. It's fucking great.
It's a great promo. But anyway, no. So a lot happened. We tied a lot of stuff together because it is together. But all I'm saying is, and again, I'm not trying to beat down you guys, but you guys do a lot of talking. Now all of a sudden the shoe's on the other foot for momentum, and now you don't want to say dick.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, you've said a lot. Your actions have done nothing.
All
No,
I'm
it's
saying
true.
is, if I see MJF walk out during the Royal Rumble, that's all I'm gonna need to know.
I might poop and I need a cigarette.
Because I'm literally gonna go. You let the best thing that could have happened to your company, and you fucked it up, and now he
'Cause
he
by the
went
way,
exactly
folks-
where you didn't want him to go, to the right creator in
Because
WWE.
by the way, folks, all that's happening right now, MJF loses no steam,
No,
Oh, God.
and he's taking no bumps, so he's fresh as a daisy.
exactly.
And he's hanging out on Strong Island, and he's just sitting there collecting whatever check Tony still sends him.
Right.
And I guarantee he cashing that shit as soon as it shows up.
Absolutely.
He ain't letting Tony cancel that check.
That pop for him
Um,
showing up would be
But Jesse,
incredible.
so my question to you is, and again, we'll dive into the main talents a little later. Jesse, you said ROH only 16-month deals. Does Triple H try to reinvent the ROH that he had?
Depends
Okay.
on the talent.
Because we said last week, whereas Tony was signing the recommendations of the Bucks, Triple H was signing the recommendation of the fans and signing
Yes, he was.
the absolute top tier
Yes, he
indie talent he
was.
could find.
You won't see a Danhausen go to WWE.
Now,
No.
Triple H can make him work.
but in fairness to Danhausen, I've said this numerous times. If you want good comedy wrestling and a guy who just gets that he's not supposed to be a world champion guy, it's Danhausen.
Right.
It's like Yano. They might give it to him as a lifetime achievement.
Or skits here in the northern United States.
Yeah. You find a niche and it works,
right.
but you know that you're limited.
So, by the way, free promotion for skits. Go check
I
them
love
out.
skits.
He's fun. He's awesome.
It's one of those things. So I know Adam Warlow said some shit, but we'll see about him. Like I said, if MJF walks out during the Royal Rumble next year, that fully lets me know, because Cody will be back. Cody's going to be in the world title picture.
That's the part no one understands. MJF hinges, I think, more on How does Cody feel about Triple H's new regime? If Cody gets good, because here's the deal, folks. It doesn't matter that Vince is gone. Triple H is still a businessman. Dude ain't signed for $3-4 million, and he's just going to sit around
Apparently,
doing
people
nothing.
forgot about a photo that I'm going to try to send to Leroy here to post on our page. It is a photo of after WrestleMania and Cody's return. And who's one of the first guys he goes and hugs? It's fucking Paul Levesque. You want to know why? Because he adored that man. And yes, they had their little issues because Cody did try to create another company and the way things ended with the Stardust character and all that.
Yeah.
But those guys love each other.
Oh, yeah.
And Triple H loved his dad, loved him dearly.
And also at the end of the day,
didn't?
this is just business. You don't sign someone for $4 million and then just let them sit. Now Tony will do it.
Tony will do it.
Tony will sign someone for $4 million and let them sit on the sideline do nothing. WWE don't work like that.
He's
No.
a dumbass.
They don't work
Usually
like
when
that.
you're getting paid top tier money, you're going to go do top tier shit.
So
Oh, yeah.
my point is, this year's Rumble may be one of the most anticipated Rumbles in years.
It's going to be nuts.
I don't know how many old timer spots you're gonna have because I still like that the Rumble is that place where some of the old timers can come back.
Right,
Oh, yeah, I
Let
love
me
it,
tell you
too.
something. Triple H gets free reign to bring back whoever he wants. Ladies and
that'll
gentlemen,
be
boys
fun.
and girls, children of all ages, Triple H presents to you the most anticipated Royal Rumble in the history of WWE.
Like I said first, though, even before we get to there, Survivor Series is going to be interesting this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That'll be good.
Survivor Series is going to be off the chain this year.
It's gonna be
Cannot wait.
fun. I do think down the line,
You know what? Triple H actually likes tournaments. This is a dream.
Okay.
All right.
This is a pipe dream. And a prediction for 2023.
Okay.
I hope he brings back a serious King of the Ring tournament.
You know what I
Ah.
want? Hear me out. Give me King of the Ring,
Yeah.
but put it in NXT, and here's why.
Oh, I agree.
You don't win an NXT title shot. You win a main roster spot.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And then you come up as the King of the Ring. If you're a heel, they can shit on you for a little while with your King gimmick. That's great television. If you're a babyface, you come up and you're just like Woods. You're thankful to be there. You're incredibly happy.
Oh, I still mean old school.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
even as an NXT talent, you win. You get a world title shot.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I also want to point something out. Please go to YouTube.com/up, down, because Big E's back and he's
Yes,
looking
he
good,
is.
everybody.
Right.
So happy to see that. Man's taking life a little differently these days.
He has
I
to.
did like this would have been a better help spot, but I already did that. I do like that he says he needs to be around WWE right now for his mental health. I think that's good for him. If I never see him again, I'm okay with it because I get it. Life is very precious once you realize the end was near.
If you thought Vince McMahon had patience, though, Triple H has the patience
Of a saint.
of a saint. So does his wife. Whenever Big E's ready, they're going to let him come back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
As
yeah.
long as the doctors are like, yeah, he's good to go. So,
I can't wait. Okay, so now next week, we're all going to do a top 5.
Oh, we are.
We're all going to do a top 5. Write this
Oh.
down. Your top 5 hopes hopes for the future with Triple H in charge.
Okay.
Your top 5.
Okay.
We're gonna do it. Yep. No. So tomorrow. So next week we have a top 5. Everyone's gonna do their own top 5. I personally, what we're gonna do is a little different format in the sense that we're just gonna let someone do it. If you have doubles of somebody else, don't say it till it's yours. Kind of
Sounds
idea.
Okay.
But we appreciate all you guys for listening. Like I said, please go to BetterHelp.com if you do need it. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Haitian Heat, Dark Arts Entertainment, Handmade Mama as well. Go check out the boys on Battle Draft Podcast. They're always a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And Lux Photo Booth, still there for your needs if you need it. They do
Correct.
great work as
Yes,
well.
they do.
Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you guys next week. The Triple